are listening to Digital Denizens.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Digital Denizens Show, where we live to discuss all things in the ever-expansive gaming universe.
Hey,
my name's Chad.
What the fuck is this shit?
Oh,
You guys started
I
without
thought
me?
I thought you could use a little spice of Chris and Chad.
You guys just hijacked my podcast?
we tried. Chad stumbled over his words, so...
My God, he can't even do it right.
No, we can't.
You know, it took me to get our intro right. I still mess
man.
it up.
Well, either way, it's good to have you guys here. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Digital Denizens. This is where we live to discuss all things in the ever-expansive gaming realm. Today is August 20th, episode 42, and I am your host, Keith Whalen, aka the Gamer Stash. Alongside me, I am joined by the hijackers themselves from the Fanboy and The Snobs podcast, Chad and Chris. How the fuck are you guys?
Oh.
That's Chad. He's overweight, and I'm Chris. I have long hair.
Hey, not that hefty.
We're both wearing Melvin shirts
Hell
because
yeah.
we're fucking
We're
losing.
cool.
Awesome. Well, it's good to have you guys on. I know Chad's been on a couple times, but this is your first time, Chris. We popped your cherry.
Yeah, I was having webcam issues that last time I went to go do it.
Oh, that's right.
But today, and then when I started today, the on-laptop webcam turned on right away, and I was like, well, fuck, you know?
Fucking technology, man.
It's in the real webcam or the...
Well, I'm using the webcam now because it's got a better camera, as you can see. But the one on my laptop that wasn't working now works again.
I think you were just too drunk.
No. When I get drunk, technology makes more sense. It's when I'm sober that I fuck it all up.
Same. Oh my God. All right. We've got an intriguing episode ahead of us full of loops, pixels, and nonsense. But before we do, remember, if you guys want to write into the podcast, have us read your funny anecdotes, interesting or emotionally charged video game stories, offer up ridiculous life questions like...
Fanfic.
What
If you write fanfic, we want to read it.
That's right. And fanfic. That's right.
Yeah.
What is the wooden shield? Well, if you've played Bloodborne, then you know that while not entirely useless per se, the wooden shield exists merely as a nod to Bloodborne's Big Brother series, Dark Souls, when transitioning from the far more defensive and careful gameplay of the Souls games. Bloodborne adopted a faster-paced and aggressive combat system by ridding the player of the precious defensive walls called shields, making fun of them by advising shields are nice, but not if they engender passivity. It's way more beneficial to use nothing at all compared to the shield. So as the hunters would say, get good, motherfucker. But if you want to share with us what you're currently playing, we'd be thrilled to share your thoughts with the rest of the listeners. We have, let's see. These guys are also part of New Game Plus Network. We're all kind of part of that. And so in tandem, like, the podcast goes with that, and we're trying to sort of bring people onto our Discord. And, if you want to come hang out, play games with some of us, or share your own podcast or content creation stuff, updates and things like that, or just to make friends and shoot the shit, that's cool. We're down to meet new people. So please check us out, New Game Plus Network on Instagram, and you can also find New Game Plus Network on Discord. And if you guys are just looking to get your hands on some awesome gaming art or merch, you can find New Game Plus Network, Digital Denizens, Fanboy and The Snob, and we got a couple others, and you can find those on storefrontier/jyachannel.com. We got to change that.
Yeah, I was about to say I gotta update that. I update it. I thought I made it the New Game Plus.
Maybe you did. We'll have to check on that. So it's either Store Frontier.
People want to buy our shirts, and they're like, "Why I can't find it?"
Fuck these
Wait,
guys.
people
We're moving
buy our
on.
shirts?
We're moving on to somebody else. What's that, Chris?
Who the fuck buys our shirts?
I've had some
You're
people
the
buy
only-
some of my merch, but
No,
it's mostly.
Chad don't.
Huh?
Chad buys our shirts. I'm trying to speak, and you will listen to me.
I must
Nobody
be-
buys our shirts, Chad. You're the only one that buys our shirts.
Keith does. Matt did.
Oh, well,
I-
fuck
AJ bought one of ours.
I do still
don't
need to buy
believe it.
one.
Oh, you just said Keith didn't. You just said he didn't. You're a liar.
I haven't bought one of Keats yet.
It's all right. We'll get there.
I'm waiting for my AMC money to come so I can buy shirts.
I was gonna say I haven't really been flush with money, but once the AMC and GameStop pays off a little bit, I'll be rolling in it, rolling in the dough as they say.
AMC money, and I only put 100 in. Pretty good.
I invested in crypto the other night. I have like 40 Ethereum, so.
Oh, nice.
So what? You gained like $15 in the past week, I think, though, right?
Ethereum costs like $16,000 per coin or something retarded like
that. That one. You bought one of those?
No, I can't afford that. What?
Oh, I thought you bought the Ethereum Classic. It's like $32, $36
There's classic
right now.
Yeah, there's like Bitcoin Classic, Bitcoin. There's Ethereum Classic.
The Ethereum Classic one's the good one though. That one goes up and down a lot.
Yeah,
I made like $40 off that one. It's like,
does it taste better than Coke? Are they gonna go back to the original recipe when this one doesn't work?
That'd be a cool soda name, Ethereum.
Could be.
I think it's a crafting item in an MMO that I'm forgetting. Sorry.
I feel like it'd be an energy drink.
Yeah, it could be. Oh, looks like we got AJ, A4GZ, and Punkin' Donuts. What's up, guys? Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah,
Who's
that's right.
Pumpkin Donuts?
Oh, that's my girlfriend. Sorry.
Oh, hi, Pumpkin Donuts.
No, not Pumpkin Donuts. Punkin' Donuts, like punk and donuts.
Oh.
I don't know.
Is she a punker?
She is, yeah.
Cool. Makes good music.
She does like good music.
Do you like the Melvins?
I don't know. I'll have to introduce her to him. I don't know if she knows. One of her favorite bands is like the Ramones. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's actually. I was like, I hate when people are like, I'm into punk. My favorite band's Green Day. And you're like, go fuck yourself, man.
You're like, no, man.
Don't speak to me.
Don't talk to me. Oh my god. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so if you want merch, check the site out. Speaking of merch, we are sponsored by Devoted Saint Retro, by Matt Philandro. He makes awesome like wood art with CNC, and he also does a lot of 3D printed stuff as well. You can find him on Instagram at Devoted Saint Retro, and find the shop link on there. Or you can go right to the website, which is devotedsaintretro.com/discount/DD10, and this code is good for one-time use per email. But yeah, he makes a lot of like cool like controller stands and with like LEDs and shit, and some of like the arcade marquee art, makes those into lights and a bunch of other shit. Please go check him out. Let's see, what do we got? If you guys want to write in to the podcast, Facebook at Digital Denizens, Instagram at Digital_Denizens. Of course, if you have any feedback for us, that really appreciates, and we appreciate it, and it helps us to improve the show. And if you're watching the video links, we'll put the links down below. Chad and Chris, if you want to go ahead and explain your guys' podcast, which I'm also on as well.
Yeah, I'll
Chris,
explain
our channel.
So, our podcast is two guys get really, really drunk, and the third guy kind of just sits and watches as the two cars crash into each other, and it's pretty brutal. And then we have a YouTube thing that we do where we just talk about movies that... Lately, it's been movies that I've been forcing Chad to watch, but we're going to flip, and now Chad's going to make me watch a bunch of movies.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So...
No more depressing war movies. Or will
man, they were fun. You had fun.
Oh my god. Saving Private Ryan was fucking depressing.
It was funny, though. It was funny.
The problem is I can't watch that movie being like, this is awesome. I'm watching it being like, this shit happens. What the fuck? Especially sitting next to you. You're like, you know, stuff like...
It's
like
definitely...
Pointing out all the historical inaccuracies and stuff like that.
It's definitely brutal, but it's definitely my favorite comedy of all time.
Dude, the gripe scene, gripes go up, not down. That scene was awesome.
Wait, what's that?
Well, then when they're walking through the field and they're like talking about the mission, and he's like, "This is bullshit," and he's like, "You know, you can't complain to someone of your own son. Like gripes go up, you complain up. So like, Captain wouldn't complain to him about the shitty mission. He would complain to the major." And you know, I thought that was cute.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Totally true.
It was good because it showed every character in the movie's personality in like 5 minutes. You got how everyone acted and how they treated each other, and then you get to watch them die one by one. It's fucking awesome.
That's awesome. Such a great movie,
But
man.
yeah, we get drunk.
Let's
Can you
see.
guys hear the dehumidifier?
No.
No, I got my air
Alright, good.
conditioner in the background.
You hear
too, so-
my window fan?
No.
Okay.
Let's just have a moment of silence for all of our cooling electronics and humidifiers.
I'll turn
shall
mine
we?
up, bro.
Chris, drink a nip.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
The nips are for after.
Pour one out for my
I'm not
homies.
drunk enough off these 10 beers.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ripped off 9 fucking 16-ounce Miller Lights, then I'm gonna drink 10 fucking shots of vodka.
My God.
Puke my brains out. I can't drunk text you anymore, Chad, so I'm probably gonna go crazy.
Go on your
Oh
PlayStation.
shit, man. You can text on Wi-Fi, can't you?
No, my phone is like it won't let me do anything except like I can use Discord on my phone, but I can't use
Oh, so just drunk text them through Discord.
You talk
Yeah,
to your Discord, Bubba.
Alright.
All
My
right.
drunk text.
I'm gonna give you a fair warning. Having Chris and I both on the show, we're gonna derail it a lot.
Yeah,
It's
I
dangerous.
apologize in advance.
me and Chad like
It's all
to
good.
mine.
I'm not
Oh,
like
back to other shows.
I'm not solid on everything that I wanted to talk about, but I mean I do have some cool shit. But what do you say we talk about the video games that we've been playing? What are you buying? What are you playing? Chris, can you tell me what that's from first?
Resident Evil 4,
Fuck
The
yes.
Merchant.
Yes.
You ever see the video of the kids who are walking around dressed as the Resident Evil 4 merchant and they're like doing like the cosplay and stuff and fucking people call the cops on them and
What?
the cops show up and they're like, what the fuck is this? And as soon as they explain it, the cops are like, you're really fucking stupid. You're so dumb. And he's like yelling at them. It's a funny video.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That's fucking awesome.
But
Chris
anyway,
and I are still the only two that have gotten that.
what? Did you
First
say-
time I was on the show, he said I was the only person to ever guess I was Resident Evil 4.
Oh
So
my God, it's
I
super
think you
obvious.
guys did. I think I might have had a couple others, but in the I think before you came on, Chad, for the first time, I think everybody else I asked before that didn't know what it was.
He's like
With
the iconic.
news.
He's I think he's better than the Duke in the new Resident Evil, but Duke is pretty fucking cool.
I
He's a
haven't
big fat guy.
in Resident Evil 8. You mean?
Whatever the newest one is, Village.
Oh, Village.
I think it's called.
Yeah, I haven't played
Yeah,
that yet.
I don't play
Um,
the first person Resident Evils. It doesn't.
I tried playing
You know?
7 and I couldn't get past like the whole, like I know like in some of the Resident Evils you have like some of the bosses like Mr. X in Resident Evil 2. And like
Nemesis.
right, and Nemesis, there's always like the tyrant or something like that you can't
Someone
kill,
following.
and he'll
Yeah.
kind of follow you and stalk you. But like in Resident Evil 7 there's not
It was
many
the
all of the main enemies that you fight are like you can't die, and the ones that you can kill there's not a ton of them. They're like very few
Yeah, I
and
know.
far between. So like the first dude you come and get contact with, like what was it, like he chases, like he bursts through the wall with the axe or whatever, you go into the garage and then you go to like get the car and the cop is in there and he kills the cop, you go to get in the car and then he gets in the car with you and tries to drive it into the wall to like kill you with
And
those
you
like
do that dumb boss fight where you're fighting him with the car and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
and then
That's
the
what I
car
did
blows
too.
up and it's like on fire and then he gets out like he's fucking Terminator. And you're like, come on, dude, fucking die.
My feeling with the first person Resident Evils, and I think it's because it's first person, it's not scary. Like, I don't jump at any of the jump scares because I see them coming. You know, like, the monster designs are super cool, but
Wouldn't
like,
you see it less coming if it was first person than third person? Because it's like you're standing there and something comes around you.
right, but third person, like, okay, Resident Evil 2, one of the most bullshit parts of the game is when you're in the sewer and you're getting chased by the giant crocodile. Remember that? It
Oh
was fucking
yeah.
scary because you
Yeah.
could see the crocodile right fucking behind Leon, and you know if you died, you'd go all the way back there. You'd have to do it all over again.
Yeah.
But the first person shit, you see the monster once, and then you're just running towards a hallway. You know?
That's true,
It's- I
yeah.
don't
Yeah, I guess they have to rely on jump scares. with it.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you ever played Doom 3, but Doom 3 was like you'd open up a closet and a monster would appear. And like after the 5th time that happened, I was like, jump scares no longer affect me.
Yeah.
You know, like
I do love Doom 3 though. That was like one of my favorites,
it was
honestly.
fun. the black was really like the way they did shadows in that game was really. It was the first time I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit! Like
I
that's
also
dope.
I think what made it scarier too was the fact that you had to switch between your flashlight
Flashlight and your
and
gun.
the gun, and like that really I think like set the tone for that game, which was fucking awesome.
Remember the part where you find the security guard and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll be the flashlight, you be the gun," and then you get like halfway through the level and he dies, and
Oh,
you're like,
that's
"Oh,
right.
fuck."
You're like, fuck, now what do I do?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Do you guys think Resident Evil should go back to basics?
No,
Kind of just like you don't.
do what
Cause
makes money.
I know you said you liked Metal Gear Solid 5, Chris, but a lot of people didn't like that because they said it was too actiony.
I think
I understand why they didn't like it, but I still liked it.
I don't think that the actiony part of Metal Gear 5 was its downfall. The downfall, I think, was the fact that there wasn't a lot of story. It was so open
Yeah.
world that it, like, you forget what's happening in the story most of the time because you're spending
Especially
so much
with the-
time doing missions and stuff.
Especially with a game like Metal Gear, which is super, super story
Yeah.
driven. Like, I had a lot of fun. Like, I loved you'd shoot the guys in the heads, and then the
Mhm.
next day they'd all be wearing helmets. You know, I liked
Yes,
that.
that's right.
You know, I
do
love
remember
the little
that.
things, like ice cubes in the Metal Gear engine. When they're closer together, they melt slower than when they're further apart. Like the little things you
Interesting.
can do. Like that engine was so much. It was
So
fun. to
mad
play
he lost
again.
that engine.
What?
Can you believe he lost that engine to Konami?
Yeah,
It makes sense. It was working for him.
but
I know it sucks, and he
But
had
I
to
think-
remake the whole thing.
yeah, but at the
Whatever.
same time, like, I mean, he used the what was it, the Gorilla, or not the Gorilla, what? Well, Gorilla Games, which made they did Horizon Zero Dawn, and like the Killzone games. Kojima used the same engine for Horizon Zero Dawn on what's his game?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. Yeah, which is a beautiful engine, honestly. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
a really nice engine.
With Horizon Zero Dawn is the one we play the girl, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
did
with
you
like
guys-
the robot dinosaurs and stuff.
Dude, I got like 20 minutes into that game and I was like, I'm not into it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to the first
Amazing.
big city and I was like, I don't care.
I haven't played it either because that was kind of my thing. I was like, it looks nice, but I was like, it doesn't really seem to pique my interest,
Like, the
honestly.
hunting-
Did you guys hear the people arguing about the new one, saying the girl isn't attractive enough, and she's more like regular
I hate
proportion?
when they do that. Why can't girls be hot in video games? Why do they always have to be flat-chested with half their head shaved?
Flat chested, she looks normal.
But in the first one, she's. Oh wait! You're saying girls with big boobs aren't normal? That's pretty
Well,
fucked
most
up.
of
Wow,
them are.
Chad.
Chris,
That's pretty
go to our
fucked up.
apology channel on our YouTube channel if you
Yeah,
have a problem.
see our apology video. We'll link it in the description. Um,
It's like N-word.
Yeah.
And we
no, but
terminate.
I don't know. It's like what they did with fucking Key-Man. Like, I hate when they do that to shit. Just let it be
No,
what
this
it
is very
was.
different. This is totally different. It better graphics, so they just made her look like a real human, and people are like, she's not hot enough.
Oh
I'm
my
playing
God.
a video game. I don't want to see a real human. I want to see an idealized human.
Like Lara Croft,
Pointy
like
boobs.
pixely boobs,
I had
or
a full-on
polygonal
conversation.
boobs.
I miss polygonal boob Lara Croft because she was way cooler than fucking Lara Croft that's crying constantly and is dirty and is hurt and is always scared. Old Lara Croft fought a T-Rex with
I would say,
pistols
though-
and fucking won.
I would say though, like in the first new Tomb Raider game, she is sort of like that in the beginning, but then as you get through it, like she is a fucking badass. And the games after that, she does become a fucking badass.
Yes, I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know. It was weird. I was playing Tomb Raider and I was like, I wish I was playing Uncharted.
Yeah.
Like Uncharted's the better explore. It's weird that the game that copied it is now better than it. You know?
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
but I think that's just because Naughty Dog is so fucking good at creating like
Good.
realistic, believable games and making them also fun and
Fun.
easy to play.
Yeah. Lara Croft didn't feel fun. Like I didn't like watching her die in all those horrible ways. I
You didn't?
was like,
I
just
did.
cut to the game over.
I mean, what?
like remember when she's in the river and she gets the spike through her throat and she like
Oh,
claws at
that's
it for a
right.
second and then I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, the death animations in that
I-
were pretty fucked
I got
up.
stressed. I got stressed out a lot trying to fight the wolves because I didn't know how to do it, so I would just constantly die. And I'm like,
So at
God
the
damn
beginning
it.
of the game when they gave you the combat tutorial, you just didn't
Yeah,
read it.
I didn't read it. You know me. You're like, I'll figure it out.
You can't read.
Chad, you don't know how to read
Yeah.
yet?
I know how to
No,
read. Instead of talking about video games, when we're talking about the comics I've been reading.
Oh, noise. Noise. What comic is that?
This is called Witches by Scott Snyder. He famously wrote the new Batman a lot in the
Oh,
comics.
that's right. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It's like, new comics.
yeah, Batman Incorporated. That was awesome. Exactly. I haven't read any comics in a long time because like I read all the stuff from the 90s and the 80s that I wanted to read, and now I'm like, yeah, I don't like the new stories anymore.
Well, to be
Yeah.
fair, the superhero stories haven't been.
They haven't been good,
It's-
man.
Well, it's so hard to jump into one too, because you're like, all right, I'll read this, but then I got to read all these side comics and everything, and you don't know where to start.
Yeah. I think I've
The
found
one
more
I-
luck in finding just like newer different comics than than DC and Marvel. Like I think there's a lot of awesome comics you can find out there that are
I'll read the occasional like web comic. There's a couple web comics I follow that are just like 3-panel, nothings.
this one I picked up from this artist on
I
Instagram.
was looking at that actually.
On Instagram?
No, I was Chad asked me for a list of good comics, and I was like, fuck, I can't remember them, so I Googled it, and that was one of the ones that came up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I found
So
this
I, like,
guy
never
on.
knew what-
I found the artist on Instagram. I think the second volume is supposed to be coming out this year. But it's just different, and it's unique.
Who puts it out?
What's that?
What's a distributor? Or is it self-published?
I think it's self-published. Yeah, it's his own company and everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, he does all the art and everything himself, and it's just like
Send me an Instagram later. I want to look it up.
yeah, I will. Like, it's a very unique art style. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know.
I like
It
it.
looks like
I'm trying to think of like what I
shit,
would relate
it
it
looks
to.
like Runaways.
Like what?
It looks like the Runaways. Did you ever read that Marvel
Yeah.
about the children who are the children of supervillains that just decide fuck this, we're running away?
Yeah.
But this is what I've been reading.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude.
I
Oh.
read Judge Dredd.
You gotta let me borrow that when you're done.
Yeah, I need to read
Well,
those.
hold on. The problem is, I gave 1 through 5 to Dietrich, and then I never saw them again. So I only have
Oh, dude.
6 through 10 right here. I need
Oh,
to get rid
like,
of 11
dude,
and
I
12.
need my comics back.
Yeah.
Well, can't text anyone.
No.
Yeah.
So this is I don't know, Chad, I'll read you the description on the back so you have an idea of what it's about. So it's called Kings of Nowhere. Ever since the early days of mankind, humans have found themselves fascinated with beasts in ancient times. Some humans were bestowed with the gift to shift into the animals they found themselves riveted by and were known as chimeras. Once the humans shifted into chimeras, there was no way to turn them back into their human forms, worshipped as gods for their unparalleled strength, divine wisdom, and their connection to nowhere. Chimeras found themselves taking names such as Anubis, the jackal, Ganesha, the elephant, and Wukong, the monkey. Soon, adoration turned into fear, and the chimeras who had once been revered as gods were then shunned by society and seen as monsters, hidden away from hateful eyes. Chimeras strived in the criminal underground, using their skills and instincts to gain the upper hand, becoming lords of their own domain, masters of the unseen, kings of nowhere.
That sounds pretty neat.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of got the outsider vibe to it. Like,
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Is it on Did you get it off Amazon or something, or his website?
I think on his Instagram he's got like a shop to his store, and he sells it on there. But yeah, like this kid, he's like getting bullied and shit, and one day he gets so fucking pissed, getting beat up by these thugs in an alleyway, and he fucking shifts into the chimera like monkey, and fucking like kills them, and like one gets away and he fucking tracks them. His dad is an assassin, like a hitman, and a piece of shit, and like abusive towards his mom, and he like, I don't remember if I'm not gonna ruin it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
It's like Animorphs, but not.
Kind of, yeah. It's super
Which
cool.
I like the Animorphs, so that's not like a dig.
Yeah, I used to watch that show back in the day, man.
I read the books, man. They got fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Kids dying.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when they train the second generation of Animorph kids that are all like from like a disabled summer camp? So it's like kids who can't walk and stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, here's this power. Now you can turn into a horse." And you're like, you get to know all these characters, and you're like, "Yeah, Team Two," and they're gonna go take the fight to the aliens. But it turns out Team Two was just a decoy
Oh
team meant to
shit.
get slaughtered for the main team to go kill. And you're like, "Oh,
Oh wow.
that's really fucked up."
That is, man. Holy shit.
Animorphs was an awesome book series.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember that shit. What are you playing right now, Chris? Any games that you're playing?
Um, well, Fall Guys, I think had a new season pretty recently. I don't know how long ago, but I got back into Fall Guys
Oh, nice.
because like it's been like 4 seasons, so that's like new. Like I finally played every single new map, but there's still like configurations of maps that I'm like, oh, I haven't done this one before.
Yeah.
So it's like it's new, it's fresh. It's way harder than it was on release. Like I haven't won once,
Yeah.
but when
It's
this
pretty
game was on
difficult.
release, I won like 15 times in the first week, and I was like, I'm a god at this, and now I can't get past like the third round.
You're like shit.
I remember you were bragging about it too, and I'm like, shut the
I
fuck
showed
up.
off my crowns. I was like, check this out, bitch. Like I did that in 3 days, and you were like, whatever, man. Now I fucking suck.
Just
And
wait
then
until
I
Chad
bought,
gets his surgery for his carpal tunnel. He's gonna
I'll
be
beat you at Mortal
Fall
Kombat.
Guys.
he's
Play
gonna
with
be a
me, Chad.
mediocre gaming god. Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Then I bought Tribes of Midgar.
Wait,
I
what's
bought
that?
Tribes of Midgar because
What's that?
I saw it's it's a survival Diablo it's a survival ARPG, top down. You play a Viking, and you have to like protect the tree of Yggdrasil by building your base up. But the only way to build your base up is to like go out and do quests and
Mhm.
stuff, and then your character levels up, and you get better weapons, and like you can get like a hammer that does like fire and electricity, and you spin while you're using it and shit. So
Oh,
it's
that's
like
cool.
you build your Diablo character up while building your base up, and the point of the game is to survive Ragnarok. So like frost
Oh,
giants
that's
start
pretty cool.
attacking you. Fucking
S-
Fenris shows up and you gotta fight him. Like
So is
I
it
can't get
like
past.
is it kind of like Diablo meets like an RTS sort of?
It's like Diablo meets any game of about any like survival game about building bases.
Okay.
Like 7 Days to Die or whatever.
But it's like
where
but it's top down like
but it's
Diablo.
not down like
Is that
Diablo.
the
We
one
got
you're trying to get me to
potions and
play?
belts. What were you saying?
Is that the one you were trying to get me to play?
Yeah, I
Is it
actually.
free?
Pretty cool.
It's not free. It's $20, which is reasonable because it's a new release game.
Yeah.
$20, and it's got a pretty healthy player base, and it's crossplay. So like, that's why the player base is healthy.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's actually pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And then I played that game Hood, which is like a
it's
Robin Hood, like
online,
4v4.
right?
Yeah, steal the key, steal the chest, your team wins. It's like a stealth game,
Is that any
but
good?
like they have to figure out the combat because the combat's really like one-sided. Whoever
Mm.
gets the first hit in wins.
Yeah.
And then there's one character that's just way better than the rest, and you'll fight teams of 4 of just that character, and it's like, well,
Hmm.
fuck, you know?
Yeah, that really sucks. Um, yeah, I remember seeing that game and I was like, it looks interesting. I'm just not like personally, I'm not like huge into like competitive multiplayer type games.
I always look for a new one. I
Yeah.
like playing against other people.
Once in a while, like I get in the mood where I'm into it. Like I used to play the shit out of like Battlefield 1, but
Of course.
you know, but I don't know. It's hard to find one that like really is that I really like. I kind of wanted to try. What was that one? Is it Hunted? What's that fucking game? It's made in the Cry engine.
When did it come out?
I think a couple years ago. It's all online and it's currently going. Like you fight weird like creatures and shit, but you also fight other players. Fucking what is that called? I think it's called Hunted. I think Shadow.
I don't know. Oh, Shadowland, Shadow something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Anyway, Dead by Daylight is still going strong if you want a good competitive but not really all that extreme multiplayer game.
Oh yeah, yeah, that looked interesting.
I
never
played Dead
played
by
it, though.
Daylight. I play it like once a night. Like I'll just jump in for a match.
I
Why don't
found
we
it.
ever play that when you're over?
It's Hunt the Showdown.
I play that game.
Is
I
it
played that
good?
game a fuck ton. Uh, okay, it plays weird.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get used to the weirdness, and you're like, all right, I get it. But then it changes, and like players start doing. Oh, it's so weird. It's a beautiful game. The soundtrack is super awesome. It's
Yeah.
just a guy humming. Um, but like the actual hunt game type mode is the least popular. So the one where you gather the clues, find the monster, and kill it, that's the least popular. The most popular one is you gather 5 clues, then you become the target, and everyone comes after you.
Oh shit.
So you'll get games where people like hold up in a church tower and they'll have like a repeating shotgun and like a bolty, and then you'll run up with 2 revolvers and just like bow, 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 bow,
Oh,
and
that's
try and
cool.
fight. It's super cool,
That's
but a
awesome.
lot of bullshit happens where you're just like, what the fuck was I supposed to do in that situation? You know, like
Oh,
they just
yeah.
firebomb the shit out of you, and there's no, you know, it's fun. I
Nothing you
had a
can
lot
do.
of fun playing it.
Yeah, it looked interesting. I would imagine because like a lot of the weapons probably take a while of reload compared to
Yes.
like other
Oh my
games.
god.
So like you
There's
kind of have
sing-
to be mindful of that.
there's no like machine gun. It's either a repeater or like a double action revolver that can shoot pretty fast.
Yeah.
But the majority of guns are one-shot muskets.
Oh, okay. Or like elephant
Yeah,
guns
I,
and
I
shit like that.
take the cavalry sword and I just sprint up to you and hope you miss, and then just start stabbing the
Wait for
shit
them
out
to
of
start reloading, and you're like, ha
Basically. I
ha!
usually go for like the Mauser pistol, which, oh my god, and this game does this thing where if your gun has like a magazine or like a revolver or something, there's a chance while reloading, one of the bullets is going to be a dud.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So you'll just be
crazy.
like, you'll have your 6 shots of your revolver, and number 3 won't happen, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you gotta like reload the gun quick, and then
Oh,
it's
does
like,
your
what?
gun jam on you?
It jams on you. It just doesn't appear. So you have like less shots in the gun. So
Oh,
like in a crucial situation, like his reload gives him 10, your reload gave you 6.
yeah.
Oh well, deal with it.
Luck of the draw,
I can see
motherfucker. Yeah.
I can see why this game probably didn't like launch off because people are like
It's
Call of
hard.
Duty.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about it. Is it's very challenging.
The sound design. Whoever designed, like I was playing with my headphones on, and I like put my controller down and I was on my phone and I was just listening to like zombies scream, and like and I was like, oh okay, this is spooky. I don't
This
want to
is
listen
too
to this
much,
anymore.
yeah.
Like when there'll be like dead horses on the ground, and when you walk up to them, they like rear up and like do that horse scream before they fall back down, and then it's like
Oh
fuck,
God, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It's such a fun
It sort
game.
of reminds me a little bit. What's that other? Fuck. What's that other game that's like a shooter that's kind of like Dark Souls that came out not like last year, I think.
Tarkov.
No, not Tarkov. No, you fight like creatures and stuff like that in like weird forests and everything, but you do have weapon like guns and things. I can't.
Shit, I don't know, man.
I
That
know.
describes so many
I
games.
know, right? It's very, very, very vague.
Yeah.
It's like something like Reckoning or, oh shit. Dark Souls. Let's search it.
I don't know, Chad, what you been playing?
Yeah, go ahead, Chad.
I've been playing Mortal Kombat 11.
Ah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Against who?
Real quick. We'll go back to it. We'll let you go back to it. Remnant from the Ashes.
Oh, Remnant. Yeah, I saw a stream of that. That game looks pretty neat.
It looks pretty interesting. Yeah. Sorry, Chad. Go ahead.
It's okay. I've been playing Mortal Kombat 11, getting my butt whooped by Chris, and beating people online occasionally. Even though I had a good night the other night.
I
Made
gave you
somebody
a
rage
real-
quit.
I gave you a real high five. That was a real high five.
You can count that in the books there, Chad. That's like 1 of 4 that he's
Mortal
ever given
Kombat,
you
when
in all
somebody
life.
rage quits, they have like a rage brutality that comes from the screen and stuff.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. You rage quit, it gives you a quitality, and your character gets killed by a giant rock, and
Oh, fuck.
it's like a big fuck you. Like, why would you quit? Just take the L.
Yeah.
But
Just
Dude, we're on fire that night. Everybody kept like just leaving after we beat him and
Dude.
stuff.
this one kid was talking mad shit to Chad, right? And I was like, pass the controller, and Chad was like, no, because I avenge Chad. That's the way we play online. Chad goes first, he dies, then I win and talk a bunch of shit. We pass the controller. We're that kid. So this Chad's like, no, I got this, man. And he fucking won the match. I stood up, went yes, and then high five Chad as hard as I could, because I was proud of my little boy. You
That's
know, I
awesome.
trained him.
Hell yeah.
He was so bad. Remember the first time we played, Chad? You couldn't hit me. Do you remember?
If I played this game regularly, I'd probably be good at it.
Yeah, I play it Monday night.
You have to think, like, how many of these kids we beat online play all the time?
That's
All
true.
day, every day.
Yeah.
And I fucking beat, like, maybe 3/4 of them.
No,
Maybe half of them.
no.
I would say half of them.
You win like 1/5 of the time. Look, I'm not even gonna say I win half the time. I'm like, 1 win, 1 loss.
Yeah.
You're like 4 losses, 1 win. It's
Yeah.
not bad. It's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
It's like
But I did
baseball.
read this. It's called Black Hole, not Blackout. Fucking
Blackout.
weird.
Blackout
Have you guys
drunk,
heard of this?
which is what we're
Nope.
gonna be in like 20 minutes. Blackout drunk.
This it's a comic about there's like this weird disease going on where it makes people like morph into like weird like disease-ridden creatures, or just somebody might get a tail. And a bunch of them live in the woods, and this girl ends up sleeping with one of them. You get it through like saliva and stuff and sex and all that.
Oh, weird.
It's
This one girl ends up sleeping with one of the guys who has it, and she didn't know he had it.
Mm.
And it ended up being like a mouth in his neck right here. So as they were like finishing having sex, it opened up and like freaked her out. But then she ends up getting the sickness, and then the rest of the comic is her dealing with it and crazy shit happening.
Wait a minute. That sounds really familiar. Chris, didn't you have something like that last year?
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Very
gonna say,
good comic.
I'm just
it sounds like an artist's take on the AIDS pandemic or epidemic. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A little bit.
just sounds like it's about AIDS.
And the other one I
In the
read,
future, this is what AIDS becomes.
Yeah, you get powers.
Yeah. Wow. Saga. Noise. I've heard interesting things about it. I haven't read
This
any
book's
of it.
amazing.
Though. The
basically this book is there's 2 different species. One's the winged ones. They have wings. And I'm really bad at remembering things. The other ones have horns. And the winged girl was a guard in a prison with a horn guy. And then they fall in love and have a kid, and the whole book is them being on the run, getting chased down by like these crazy fucking characters, like TVs as heads and like a Spider Woman with her boobs out and stuff.
wow.
Pretty cool. It's a good comic.
I remember
I don't do it
seeing.
justice.
I think you sent some of the art style in the group chat, and I remember
Yeah, no, you guys
it is
turned
really,
off.
really cool art style. Yeah.
And this one I'm reading now, it started out with like this tree, like this woman stuck in a tree, and she's like screaming to her son to help her, and she's like, "I was chosen," and all of a sudden you just see the kid bash her face with a rock, and he's like,
Damn.
"Yes, you were chosen," and the hands come over the woman's face from inside the tree and just pull her out.
Damn.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's wild.
I haven't gotten that far in it though.
You need to read Jimmy Corrigan's Smartest Kid on Earth.
Do I?
It sounds
Yes.
familiar.
It's by Chris Ware. It's got a pretty unique art style,
Okay.
and the paneling is super unique. Like, you know how you normally read it like right to left. Like sometimes you'll be right, or like, and it'll go down and
Oh,
then
okay.
it'll go up. Like, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to read,
Oh, that's cool.
and it's really interesting.
I'll have to check that out.
Do you ever read The Bus? I think that's what it's called. It's these weird, like,
doesn't ring any
surreal.
bells, but-
It's The Bus. Let me see if that's what it's called.
But Keith, what have you been playing? Anything new?
So I've been playing.
Okay.
I've still been playing a bit of Returnal on PS5. And I think we talked about that a little bit on your guys' podcast. It like the art style and like the shadows and like the creatures kind of remind me, like the whole atmosphere of the game reminds me a lot of like Prometheus. with like the weird ancient ruins, because you play as like an astronaut that crashes on this
Yeah.
alien homeworld or whatever, and every time it's got a roguelike sort of element. So every time you die, you relive the moment of like your ship crashing down on the planet, and you have to start with
Very
like
cool.
your base gear and everything.
Yeah. It's a
But
roguelike, yeah.
yeah, but what I do like is it's not like it is punishing. I will say that it's challenging, but I think every time you keep doing different cycles, your paths change. So like the world changes in like what you'll find and enemies that you encounter and weapons that you pick up and all that stuff. And you will gain like permanent upgrades that you'll like attach to your spacesuit that will allow you to. So it's sort of like Metroidvania in that sense, where you'll get like a key that opens up this gate. So then once you get that key, every time you go through another cycle, you can still go through that gate without having to recollect it again. It's just like kind of like Dead
shit.
Cells a little bit.
What was that other one where it's like it's a side scroller and it's like a knight and you go in the castle?
Is the one with
Fuck.
like the flame head?
No, I don't think he had a flame head, but what would happen is every time you died, you would get his ancestor or her ancestor. You would get the ancestor, and the ancestor would have different qualities about them, like
Oh.
hemophiliac, but can carry more. So like if you
Oh.
get hit, you're gonna bleed. You know what I'm saying?
Is it Salt and
And like
Sanctuary?
maybe it was. I don't think it was Salt and Sanctuary. It was like a very cartoony, pixelated art style.
Well, I know Dead Cells was a lot like that. It had like
Dead Cells. I played the shit out of Dead
yeah,
Cells.
Dead Cells was. I think that was kind of similar too. Like there would be some upgrades that would carry over, but like all of your weapons and things like that, once you've died, you lose that. And like also, so you do get like as you're going through a cycle and you're picking up better weapons, you also gain like better weapon efficiency,
Yeah,
and you also get like more health stacked. So it makes it so you can play longer cycles. The more and more you play, the longer your cycles get, and you get further and further. But then just when you're like, oh, I'm fucking nailing it, you encounter a fucking boss that just like mops
yeah.
the floor with you, and you're like, fuck, man, I thought I was ready for anything.
Because can you do? All right, how do I explain this? Are there like not achievements per se, but like things you do in the game that will permanently unlock an item that you can discover in that world? You know what
um,
I'm saying?
so like gadgets or things like that.
Like in Binding of Isaac, like
Yep.
if you do a specific thing, it'll say this item has been unlocked in your world, and it's just there forever. It's now a random item you can find if you open up the right chest, I guess. But it
Um,
wasn't there until you did the specific thing to make it there.
so so like I said, I think like the only thing that really persists is like gates that you'll usually encounter those same gates that lead you to like a certain area. um you'll find there's like, so I think I haven't gotten this upgrade yet, but it's like I think you'll be able to get an upgrade where you can grapple up to ledges. And so once you get that, like that is sort of a persistent thing. Like you always have it, so that way you can traverse new areas that you weren't able to before. So it's a lot of things like that, but everything else, like your health, your energy levels, your weapon proficiency, the weapons you carry, all that stuff gets wiped clean when you start back over in a new cycle.
All right.
Yeah, but those new areas that you discover, they'll be there. It's just that the map will rearrange itself or change every cycle you go through. So you're never encountering the same room exactly. It's like it's always a different layout, so it kind of throws a wrench into like you're like, "Oh, well, I'll do this differently next time." No.
Yeah, walk in, look right. Nope, it's not that anymore.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta look
always
left.
going to be different. But I think what's cool is like it's got an interesting storyline where you find these audio logs of yourself that record, like it was dropped on the ground from a previous cycle that you lived. And it's like I'm starting to notice that like I'm losing my mind or I'm actually reliving this moment every time, and I'm encountering multiple versions of myself, because you'll find like a dead version of yourself, and then like you're like, oh shit, and you can avenge it, But then after a couple times, like, I would encounter it, and I would look down at the dead body, and then it starts sprouting weird tentacle shit, and then comes back to life as, like, an evil version of you. And
And you
it
gotta
turns
fight
into this
it.
weird, like, this weird alien creature, and then you have to kill yourself, essentially. That version of you, anyway. Yeah, so it's real, like, it's a real mind fuck, you know?
What's it called?
Returnal. So it's like Eternal and Return in the title. Granted, it's not the greatest. But
I was watching a stream, and the guy was playing this game called 12 Minutes that came out today, where you relive 12 minutes over and over, and you have to solve the puzzle to make sure your girlfriend get out alive.
yeah.
But you only have 12 minutes of game, and you have to do everything in the right order. And like the more you play, the more you learn. So like you go up to your girlfriend and you're like, "Hey, listen, I know about the abortion." And she's like,
Oh.
"How do you know about the abortion?" He was like, "You told me 12 minutes ago in a different timeline. We're at minute 11. I'm about to die."
shit.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's fucking cool game, and it's like this weird top-down game that goes into first person and then back to top-down, and it's
Yeah.
just really artsy fartsy,
think-
but it's super
What's
cool.
it called again?
12 minutes.
Yeah, I
Oh.
saw an article about that, and I was like, "Oh, that looks interesting." That kind of reminds me of I want to play this game also. Is Outer Wilds? It's supposed to
Yeah.
be really good, and it's like it also has sort of like a time loop that resets. Like I think it's after like so many hours, like the world basically gets destroyed, and you know that the world is like the end of the world is imminent, or the end
Yeah.
of the universe is imminent, and you have to do as much as you can before
Well, it's like
the
Majora's
world.
Mask.
Yeah, I think it's like every
Yeah.
21 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it resets, and you have to like. But I've heard it's still like a really good game to play, and it's still like you can still play it casually and still do a lot in that. But
Wasn't 999 like a detective game where you're trying to solve your own murder and you like relive the events over and over and over again, trying to put it together to figure out who kills you?
I think so. That sounds
I think
familiar.
I think I'm getting two games confused
Yeah.
because I know 999 was like that, and then there's a game like Ghost Detective or something like that where you're trying to solve your own murder.
Oh yeah. There's. Oh, yeah. That sounds really cool.
I'm actually pretty drunk already. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yes. Mission
I
achieved.
I'm fucking 4 deep already.
Man, I'm still on my first one. What the fuck? I need to catch
I
up.
know, that's what I mean. I was watching like you guys not drink as I look up at my cam and I'm pounding. It's like shit.
I haven't. There's another game that I really wanted to play, and I saw it was on sale. Was that game Observer? It
I haven't
has
heard of that one.
it has Rutger Hauer as the main character. You remember from Blade Runner?
Yeah.
He was the one android, Roy Batty. And
He watched Hyper Beams off the something whatever that thing is. Tears in the Rain.
Yes.
It's all Tears in the Rain. Yeah.
Yep. And so you play as him in sort of like a cyberpunk kind of world. It's like a detective sort of game. It's all first person, and you have to like you go in and like you jack into like people, like dead bodies, and then you can see what they relived before they died, and you're trying to solve like some of these murders
I
and stuff.
think I actually saw something about. I think
Yeah.
I saw a gameplay, or like a clip of gameplay of that.
Yeah, and they just I think it was like maybe a month or two ago they just came out with the System Redux version, which is like they totally overhauled the graphics for current gen and next gen and PC. They also redid some of the gameplay like mechanics to make it play smoother and everything. And it looks freaking awesome. Like it's very like it's kind of like a horror thriller sort of noir game. It looks really cool. But alas, I have not played that yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm kind of pissed about? They put a new trailer out for the new Metroid game, and it was kind of lame. They didn't show like anything really new.
Say
Yeah, of course not.
For
We
Metroid
got
or Metro?
Metroid.
Oh, for the Metroid Dread?
Hey,
Yeah, they showed like a game, like a little trailer, and at the end it's like her crashing on a thing,
Oh.
and she just gets up, and it's like,
Chad, we're not talking about baby Nintendo games over here. We're talking about real
well,
men.
Keith loves Metroid.
I do like
Yeah?
Metroid, but
No, everybody likes Metroid. Come
Yeah.
on.
that's like one of my favorite Nintendo. Like, I don't know. I know.
Oh, shit.
I know AJ would find this blasphemous, but I'm not like a huge Zelda fan.
Neither am I.
Like I don't know. I just find like Metroid is a little more like it's more one of their more darker, more serious tone games. You know, AJ says, "How dare you, sir?" I'm sorry, AJ. I respect that you love it, and it is like a good game. I'm not saying Zelda's not good. It's just never drawn me in as much as like somebody else. Like,
I mean, Wind Waker was great.
mhm.
Ocarina of Time was great. Majora's Mask was okay.
Yeah,
I don't care about Skyward Sword or whatever the new one's called. You know, like
yeah. I
I
think that
grew out of
one's
it.
that the so Skyward Sword. I think that just came out on Switch is it's like a remaster.
Yeah, it came out on PC too,
Oh,
I
did it come
think.
out on PC
I
this
think
time?
it got a PC remaster.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'd probably
first
be willing
time.
to play it on PC maybe just to try it out.
Yeah,
So
there's that.
what? Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna make a joke, but you're talking about serious something. So yeah, you go.
Do you know what
Um,
game? Another game trailer that came out today that I want to talk about.
Call of Duty,
well, the one that you shared with me, Chad.
Wukong.
We will.
Are we allowed to play videos on Twitch,
I
Chad? I don't
don't.
think so.
I don't know that you can.
Oh, dumb Twitch.
I know, because you'll probably get a strike against us for it.
All
Against
right, I
him.
won't play it, but
Actually, I say play it, Chad. We don't get any negative. It's all on. You know what? Bring up Pornhub, Chad. Fuck
Yes,
it.
there we go.
Twitch sucks.
I know.
Pornhub? Yeah,
Well, it's
once
not
they got
just
rid of
Twitch though;
Onion.
it's YouTube as well. Like none of them let you stream or show anything. It's stupid.
We got in trouble
Um,
for Booba.
we'll get to that though, Chad, because there
They
is
needed money. They're like, we gotta get money somehow. Maybe they'll give us money.
yeah. Once we're done talking about like the games we've been playing, we'll get into like some of the news articles that I pulled, and there was another game that was announced today that I wanted to talk about as well. Um, so the other game, so a couple games that I've been playing is the Ascent, which we talked about on the pod on Fanboy, and that's like that top-down cyberpunk kind of game. I've been having a lot of fun with it, especially now that they did a lot of patches to the Xbox Game Pass version of it. Um, and I think I'm probably gonna play with my brother maybe tonight on Steam because he bought it on Steam. So it's really cool. There's some stuff like I wish was a little bit better in terms of like the writing's like it's not bad, it's not great either. And some of it can be a little fetch questy and like you just go here and kill that person or whatever. But there is some cool missions that you do. I think my biggest gripe though is like it's very progressional in like the weapons that you find. You'll find like really shitty weapons in the beginning and then you get really awesome weapons in the end, and the amount of like upgrade modules that you get for those weapons, by the time you get those really awesome weapons, like you don't have a lot of modules to upgrade those to actually make
Because
them
you've
good.
used them already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
you've
see what
used
you're
them
saying.
and like once you find them, like you don't really find any more after that. So I think that was something that they're working on like balancing. I mean, again, like this is a group of
So
like 12 guys in a
yeah,
in a studio that are working on this game. So like what they've
so
got there is pretty awesome.
their loot table needs a little work. That's all it is.
Yeah,
You know?
I
Take
think
the
that
percentages.
exactly.
And
Yeah, and
that's
some
all
of
you
the
gotta do.
and some of the balancing of like the weapons and armor and like and there's some weird challenges like you'll fight an enemy that's like level 18 and you're say level 19 or whatever, and then you fight another and you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad, like I can take him on, and then you find another level 18 enemy and they're like significantly harder and you're like, how does that make any sense?
I got that with Tribes of Midgard, where like I was running around naked with a hammer because I was like, I don't need fucking armor. All these enemies are mad easy. Like I was just dodging and killing everything. Just I didn't even bother leveling my character up. I got to like level 6 without putting a single point into anything.
Yeah.
And then I walked across a river and I got hit for like 1,000 damage. And I was like, holy fuck, I gotta go get armor. I gotta
Yeah.
upgrade it. It was like the creep was so intense.
Yeah,
It
and
was
that's kind of the
crazy.
thing is like there's times where like I'll run into a fight and like murder everybody, and then others like I'm like getting fucking my ass wasted. Um, but there is like I think one of my favorite things is like the combat consistently feels good throughout the whole thing. Like watching dudes like get dismembered and blow into chunks from like shooting at them never gets old.
Yo, no, yeah.
Plus you get like really cool, so you can always have like two augments in your body that are installed. and they use like a certain amount of energy. They have a certain cooldown or whatever. And so like I started out with like this one, I forget what it's called, but it's like this really powerful punch, and when you punch them, they like disintegrate, and you see their soul, like their skeleton, like come out behind them. And
That was the weapon I saw when I typed in Ascendant gameplay. I saw that and I was like, that's such a cool particle effect.
yeah,
That looks so goddamn good.
so there's that. There's like this stomp that you do that works really well with that one. It's called like stasis stomp, and it like knocks everybody into the air and they can't move, like they're suspended, and then you can shoot them, and once they overload, they like bloat and then fucking explode into this huge energy explosion.
Jesus Christ.
Wasn't there a class in Mass Effect where you could do the stasis where
Yes.
you lift them in the air
Yeah.
and then throw? Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit was so much fun.
So I think you could probably use those two in combination, like, and punch them while they're in air or whatever. So there's those.
Shoot them over a ledge.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
I think
just
you can do that. Yeah.
Push them over a ledge.
There's some other ones like that I found that were really cool. There's one where you can like you shoot all these rockets out of your back, and then it launches like this barrage of rockets at your enemies, like in a huge radius. I recently just got this one where you can like you have like jet boosters. You jump up in the air and then slam into the ground and then kill anybody like surrounding you. And then I just got one that's like these robotic tentacles that fucking shoot out of the ground and grab everybody that's surrounding you and fucking slams them into the ground and kills them. Like it gets really cool, like some of the augments.
Yeah, it gets like wizard levels. Like it's not even augments anymore. It's like wizard spells.
Yeah, you're
Summon
like
tentacles, you know?
But it's cool though, like you actually see the tentacles come out of your back and go into the ground, and then they come up
Oh, it's like-
and grab them. Yeah, you're like
Grab
Dr.
it.
Octopus or some shit.
That's
Um,
cool.
Yeah, so like a lot of that stuff, it makes it interesting. The more stuff you unlock, and like the more powerful that you get, and it's got like a cool cover system. Like you can crouch behind cover and then blind fire. So like if somebody's standing up and you're behind cover, they can't hit you, but you can hit them. If they're crouched behind cover, you can't hit them until they stand up, or you walk around and fucking blast them or whatever. So it's like it is a lot of fun.
I forget. Isn't the weird thing about the level system is the people above you can't shoot down, but the people below you can shoot up, or do I have it the reverse?
Like
Right?
I think usually like top-down games, especially like tactics based, is usually they can hit you from like an above vantage point because they
Yeah.
have the higher ground, but you can't hit them.
I remember seeing gameplay and seeing the opposite of what I'm
Yeah.
used to and being like, that's not the way it worked. Because like I
So-
played that Valorant game, or not Valiant, the one about Valkyria, the one about the tank with
Oh.
the girls in World War II. That game was fucking awesome.
That sounds interesting. Yeah.
Dude, don't be deceived by anime games. Like, sure, it's a bunch of like half-naked girls running around, but there's some good fucking gameplay systems. Okay,
That's true.
there's some
Yeah.
really good gameplay systems in there.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out. So this one, so when you're aiming, you can't actually aim up or down or anything. It's just like a consistent plane.
Across, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're crouched, you're lower, and you can also shoot from the hip, or you can
Yeah.
aim up and shoot.
No, I saw the cover. I watched like a 5-minute
Yeah.
game, like showcase. Like, here's how the game plays, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cover system, that's cool. You know, like,
I think
yeah.
I think what I really love about it, like what's really impressive is like the world building and like the background lore, because like every time you discover a new area, a new character, different weapons, it has like a lore that talks about all of that stuff that you can read in like the codex. The world is like, you can tell it's like extremely inspired by like Blade Runner. There's like buildings that look like something straight out of Blade Runner. The flying cars are like Blade Runner meets like The Fifth Element, and it's so like dirty and like grimy. There's just like garbage like littered in the streets and shit.
I saw a bit of dialogue where it was like the sector boss was pissed off because the market crashed on this company, and he needed like the company that like ran the water and power or whatever, like investors got scared, so they pulled out and the company crashed, and that meant that sector didn't have water and power. So now the sector boss had to negotiate with companies in other sectors, and he was all fucking pissed off about it. He was like, "Ah, those fucking guys over in Sector 7, they don't get how to make money, fucking assholes."
Yeah.
And I was just looking at this like ultra like capitalist, like it was so fucking funny. I was like, this is a cool way to build a world where it's like you live in
is.
sectors and it's completely market driven. Like everything that happens is completely based on the market.
Yeah.
I thought that was neat.
It definitely does. And it has like you can tell there's like different levels of the city that you go to, like different
Yeah.
tiers, and
It's
like
like a
each
high
one, yeah, like the lower you go, the scummier it is, and the higher you go, like the nicer it looks, and the enemies that you fight look more like put together. They're more,
Yeah, they look like decent people.
yeah.
What was it? Star Wars Bounty Hunter did that,
Oh yeah,
remember?
yeah, they did.
Where like you start off in the slums and then you get all the way up to the top doing assassinations for like politicians and everything's like clean and neat and shit like that.
Yeah, and they have something like that. Like I got to the top, the like highest tier, and it's like everything's white and gold and like clean and shit, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this looks nothing like the lower levels at all.
Like the fucking piles of garbage and angry people.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the very bottom level, they call it the deep stink, and it's just like water. It's like water, like sewage, water, and like waste management and all that shit. And there's like weird creatures, like running amok down there, and like
You ever
robots
play
are
Ghost
working. What's that?
Did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah. Yep.
You know how the starting city, you're like in like the average apartments, and then you can go up to the nice part, but then they
Mhm.
send you down to the slums to deal with the rat ghouls.
That's
And
right.
they're like, hey, anyone who has this weird contagious disease, we just fucking ditch them on the planet's surface and live above them, you know? Like, it was pretty. That game was fun.
I think
yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, I think that was the first one. I think there's a company that's actually remaking Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Um,
I have like cursory knowledge. Like every so often I'll see something, I'll be like, keep it up, guys.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. I'm curious to see like once they actually finally show something. I'm curious.
Did you
me
see
see.
that Sonic fan game, Robo Blast 2?
No.
It's a Sonic fan game that they've been making since the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exactly what Sonic should be.
Really?
It's such an upset that we're stuck with things like Sonic 06 and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because this game, oh, check it out. This is how much love the devs put into the game. You can either have 2D sprites or 3D models, and the
Oh,
gameplay does
interesting.
not change. Just the art style of the enemies and yourself changes.
That's cool.
Nothing else. The gameplay is still exactly the same.
That's kind of like a neat way to do it. Like if you want to play it one or the other. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
if you want to, and it runs off the Doom engine. So you know how fast you can get in Doom?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But now you're playing Sonic and you're doing a Sonic level where you're just like going at the speed of light, just like just doing things.
That's really
It's
cool.
so cool.
That's awesome. That sounds really
Yeah.
cool. What's it called again?
Sonic, I think it's Robo Blast 2. Robo Blast 2.
Robo.
If you like, I don't know, man. They started
Sonic.
making it like around the time I was born, and they're still making it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh
it
shit.
looks amazing. Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah, it's 3D and everything.
It's like a 3D world where you can play as 2D sprites or the 3D model,
Yeah.
and it just plays like a really good Sonic game.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, that looks sweet. Let's see.
Because it's like, what was the last time you were excited about Sonic?
Right. I know. I haven't
You know?
I haven't like heard of or played a good Sonic game in a long time.
Sonic and Knuckles on the Sega Genesis was the last time I was excited for Sonic.
Let's see.
That's when I was like 6.
I think you might be able to I think you might be able to play it on Android devices currently.
Yeah, I don't know if it's free to play, but it's definitely like a labor of love by a bunch of guys who have just every day of their life has been making this awesome Sonic game.
I doubt that they download you can download it. Yeah, I doubt that they would charge you for it because they'd probably get
It's a
DMCA'd over that shit real fast.
Well, that's what's funny about Sega and Nintendo. Like, I think it was Sega where they were making a Streets of Rage fan game,
Mm-hmm.
And like it was garnering a lot of attention, and everyone was like, "Fuck yeah, Streets of Rage! I can't wait." So Sega was like, "Hey, we'll employ those guys," and everyone was like, "Fuck yes, we're getting a new Streets of Rage." They employed them and buried them, canceled the
Wow.
project.
This is like what
So
you bitched about in the podcast.
what?
This is like what you bitched about in the podcast.
Oh,
With,
did I bitch about this?
you bitched about Warhammer.
Oh yeah, with the Astartes where they paid for the guy. They were like, "We'll pay you to work for our animation studio," and then they bury him.
Are you
They
gonna
do
play
have
the new Warhammer game or no?
the new one.
Mm.
Which new one? I played Total
I didn't
War.
realize there was a
played
new one.
Oh, spoilers!
yeah.
New console Warhammer game coming out.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that game kind of looks bad. It looks generic, and that's weird for the Warhammer universe.
Yeah. So I'm looking here. You can download it for free on their website. It's like
Alright, well-
srb2.org.
Here's it's resounding endorsement. If you like Sonic games, fucking look that up. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Sonic Roboblast 2. That looks cool as shit, man.
Maybe you'll catch a stream of Chris and I playing it.
Oh.
No.
Maybe.
Are you kidding? I found out about it off a bigger channel, so like, you know, they're not gonna give us money. They're gonna give them money.
So real quick, the last two games that I'm playing, so I was playing, I think we also talked about this on your podcast, was Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. And it's like it's like a 2D art style game. And you can play two to four players, and you control like this circular spaceship, and it's got 4 guns, you know, one on the top, one on the bottom, left and right. It's got shields. It's got and then it's got the wheel that you control the ship in the middle. And so like you have to like save these like space bunnies or whatever. And like it's cute or whatever, but it, you know, me and my girlfriend actually played it together, and I think it's a really cool game to like either to play with your girlfriend or like even friends. And so you're flying through and you have to save these like bunnies that are like caged up on like different planets and everything, and you're flying through space. Enemies start coming at you and you have to maneuver the shields. So like you may be flying the ship and then have to jump onto the, like, climb the ladder down to the shields and move the shields around the ship to block incoming fire, while the other person like jumps on the guns and shoots the enemies and blows them up. And it's just like, it's really cool, and it definitely tests your like skills of working as a team really well.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of stuff going on. I would just feel awful if I fucked it up.
I mean, you know, it's fun though. Like there's times where it's like pretty chill, and then and you can manage it really well, and then other times it does get a little frantic, and you have to like really think on the fly and just be quick with it.
Is it Xbox, PlayStation, PC? I think you said it was Xbox, right?
No, it's on PS4 or PS5. It was a PS4 game originally, but we were playing it on the PS5. And I think it is on Xbox and PC. And yeah, it's super fun, and we got pretty far. I think we got into like the 3rd level, and we got like almost to the end, and then we fucking like our ship blew up because we were just getting like bombarded by like spaceships incoming on like every turn. I was just like, motherfucker. But it was like, yeah, it was super cool. Like she introduced me to it, and yeah, it's only like $20 or something like that, so it's not even.
I don't think a game I'd want to play in an arcade cabinet with like 3 other people.
That, I think that would be cool if it was like on an arcade cabinet, actually. But yeah, I would definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun to like play with somebody else, like a good 2-player game. I haven't like I was like, oh, it sounds cool, but then like we started playing it, and I was like, I want to play this more. Like this is a lot of fun. So yeah, that game's sweet. And then we picked up Cyberpunk on the PS5 because I was like, I wonder. It was $10 on Best Buy, so like, I was like, fucking why not, right? Like,
Right.
And they're gonna. I know they're gonna. They haven't upgraded it to the PS5 version yet.
Still?
Yeah, still they haven't. So I think.
Abandon that game.
What's that?
They gave up on that game. They're like, all right, fuck it.
So
Fuck
they
that.
actually did their update 1.3 just a couple days ago, and
They're only at 1.3.
yeah.
Shouldn't they be at like 2.7 or something by now with
I
the amount
know.
of bugs?
I think Yeah, I don't remember because I think they've only done like maybe 3 or 4 different patches to it, but each one was like a significant size patch that they did. Like they compiled a lot of things into it. So this one was like a huge laundry list of like things that they updated, and so far, like I mean, I don't usually like playing first-person shooters on a console with a controller. For me, like I usually prefer mouse and keyboard, but I was like, it's not bad. Like it plays pretty well. And so far, like I haven't really encountered. I played like probably 4 hours on it in the story, and I haven't really encountered any bugs yet. And I think some from like reading about the update and other people's impressions, like there are still some bugs, but they did iron out a lot of the shit that they had wrong with the console versions of Cyberpunk. And
I think the
oh,
most
so go.
annoying bug, yeah, the most annoying bug was when the call box would get stuck up in the corner of the
Oh
screen,
yeah, yeah.
and the guy's face would just be staring at you the whole time you're fucking playing.
And you're like, why, man? This is so weird.
Go away, please.
Yeah. So I didn't notice any of that stuff. Obviously, because it's not the PS5 version, it takes a lot longer for things to load. There isn't like ray tracing enabled for it. You know, there's a lot of like graphically, it's still it looks better being on a PS5 slightly, but it's basically running with like the PS4 Pro. Um,
Running with the PS4's specs.
exactly. Yeah.
You know?
I still can't believe they released a game on the PS5 that wasn't the version of the PS5. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's supposed to be coming pretty soon.
a lot of companies done this, like release a game that's like the previous console game, but just being like, hey, this is on this console.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think there has
Oh,
been some games that released when the PS5 was already out, and then they came out with the upgrade later. Like I think even God of War just came out with a upgrade to it.
It
Really?
goes back even
Yeah.
further, though. It goes back even further because there was games that they were making for the Super Nintendo that when the N64 came out, they were like, "Fuck it, just put it on the N64." But it was still Super Nintendo fucking hardware, so the game looked like shit and ran like shit on an N64.
Yeah.
You know, like companies do that
Repping
all
the
the fucking.
N64 shirt.
Yeah.
I was
That's what made me
I was
think of it.
saying with the initial like being like, we're gonna release the real version, but we're just gonna give you the shit version first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, I
Jack.
think I don't know. I
What do
mean,
you think early access is? Early access is duping people into buying a broken product and then promising to fix it later.
right. Yeah, I mean,
Like,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, and from what I understand, I think it's running. I think it's running just as well on the PS5 as it is running on the PS4 because they did return it back to the Sony PlayStation Store.
oh, it's back in the
I
store?
think it's back on the I believe it's back on the PlayStation Store as of like maybe a month ago. I want to say.
Did you know I bought that game 3 times?
Cyberpunk?
I bought it 3 times. I bought the $89
Damn
version.
fault.
I did too. No, I bought it. This is the third time that I bought it too because I bought the PlayStation 4 Collector's Edition with the statue and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the statue, wasn't the statue shit?
No,
The
it
statue
actually was really cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it
I
was,
saw some people showing photos of like a crumpled, like deformed mess, and they were like,
Oh,
"What
no.
the fuck?"
I mean, maybe somebody did, maybe in the shipping, but I feel like, I mean, the box itself was like massive. It was huge, and it was packed really
Thinking of The
well.
Witcher.
Maybe
I'm
I think
thinking
it
of
was the Witcher
when they
one.
said- with the bust of Geralt.
Yes,
that was
actually,
shit.
yeah, because my brother had that one, and he had to send it back and have them,
Yeah.
or they sent him a new one at least. I don't think he sent it back. Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah.
So then I think I bought the deluxe edition from like Best Buy, which came with the steelbook, like the 3 different steelbooks for PC because I couldn't find the collector's edition in PC for pre-order. And then just now bought it on PS4 because the PS4 version I had for the collector's edition I gave to a friend because I was like, I'm not gonna play it.
So I pre-ordered it when it was like first able to pre-order on my first PlayStation account,
Yeah.
and then I got banned. So I was like, "Fuck." Then I got my second PlayStation account, and I pre-ordered it again, and I got
Shit.
permabanned again.
What the fuck?
And I was like, "Fuck."
So
So
Chris,
I
why
bought
do you
it
keep
the
getting
third time.
permabanned?
Why do I keep getting permabanned? Gee, I don't know, man. Because they keep changing the terms of service. They're trying to get rid of toxic players like me.
Oh my god.
I admit it. I don't give a fuck. If you play like shit, I'm gonna call you out. Fuck you, dude. Play better. Anyway,
Or just mute me. I mean, that's what I do. Like with people.
you don't have to listen. It's your fault if you listen.
Yeah.
I'm just screaming into the ether.
Right.
Anyway.
It's your choice to do that, to listen.
Yeah. It's the worst way to look at it.
I know.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
But then I bought it a third time and I was like, this is going to be the best game ever, so I justify this purchase. And then I bought it.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
fucking Cyberpunk on the PS4 and it was garbage.
Oh man.
And you
Yeah.
beat it. Shittiest story too.
What?
You got like the shittiest ending too.
Oh, I was playing it the way I would play it, and I decided to tell Keanu Reeves to go fuck himself at every... Because, like, I don't want him in my brain. And then it turns out you get the worst ending by
that's
doing
right.
that.
Yeah, I
You
do
get
remember
plugged
that.
into a computer, and they're like, we'll get you eventually. And then it just, like, cuts to black, and all your friends are sad.
Oh, that
And I
you
was like,
get.
that-
That's right. You get stuck in space or whatever.
Yeah, I got the worst ending where they put you in
Yeah.
the satellite and shoot you into space.
I did. I picked that one the first time, and then I reloaded my save like before when you get to the point of no return. Because like once you get to that point, like it's not very long
Yeah.
until you get to the end.
Yeah,
I
'cause it's
went
just all
back through. What's that?
It's all cutscenes at the end of the game.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
all-
answering the Blade Runner-esque questions. You see a mouse on a plate, you're holding a knife. Do you cut it? And it's like,
Oh yeah,
no,
that's
obviously,
right.
you know, they're trying to do that stuff to you to see if you're a replicant.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That was fun.
That was
I had
really
fun with
cool.
that.
That was really cool. Yeah, and then I think I picked a different ending, where Johnny like lives in your body or whatever. Yeah, there was a couple different endings that I got, and I can't remember all of them right off the bat, but
The part where Johnny, like before the part of no return, where he's like, bro, I don't even care about being alive anymore. This is about saving you.
yeah,
Don't do this. I was like, go fuck yourself. Like, just because I
Yeah.
wanted the worst ending possible at that point because I know I had fucked up beyond repair.
And I think I think there is a certain ending that you can get, depending on your relationship with him.
Yeah.
Because I think like in the menu when you open it, like with your quests and stuff, it shows like a percentage, and I think if you're above 70% with Johnny Silverhand, you get like the best ending or whatever with him.
Yeah. I did all his personal quests, like the one where you play the show and all that stuff.
And,
like
I did too, and I picked a lot of like the good stuff, like because I was like I wanted to be his friend, and I still didn't get that fucking ending. It pissed me off.
Well, see, I was a dick to him all the way up until that point, but then he has that moment where he's like, "Can I just see my friends again?" And I was like, I can't say no. You know,
Yeah.
that'd be the meanest thing in the world. So I said yes, did all the friend quests. Then I went right back to being a bully and telling him to fuck off and leave me alone and shit. You know?
Oh man, that shit was cool though, with like the samurai playing on stage and you let Johnny take the wheel. That shit was really
Yeah.
cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I
Right,
think-
Chad?
What's that?
Right, Chad?
Right, Chad?
Yes.
That's right,
I
Chad.
know you like all right, I'll say one thing about my friend Chad. He's like he's got pop culture running through his veins. He's always on the web forums. He's always looking stuff up, Chad. So give us some pop culture news.
Yeah.
What have you learned about?
Hey, do you guys know Kevin Smith got yelled at about He-Man?
What? Oh my
It was-
goodness.
Did you know Kevin
I like
Smith got yelled
Smith.
at?
Pop culture.
Oh my god.
Come on, Chad. No, give us some real pop culture
Yeah, come
or
on.
parenting tips.
Britney Spears' dad and sister got taken off her thing.
Wait, really?
Yeah, she's free.
Got taken off what?
What is it
They're
called?
controlling her finances and everything
Oh.
because
No,
she's
it's-
not well.
See, they a judge deemed her mentally incapable of being responsible of her own life.
Mm-hmm.
Conservatorship. That's what it's called.
Oh,
So a
weird.
judge agreed. So the dad went to the judge and went, "She's too dumb to live. Let me take control of her life." And the judge said, "Okay." And so the dad, since she started making money, has had complete control over her life. You know,
Wow.
like power of attorney, complete control of the finances.
And she's
Yeah.
been doing like mad Vegas shows and everything. She's pretty much performed in Vegas all the time.
Yeah, she gets
All
stuff
that money
from
she's getting
that.
from that has been being controlled by her father.
The fucked up part is the dad wasn't even a part of her life until after she started making money. So he literally came out of the woodwork and went, "I own this. It's now my slave,"
Oh my god.
and just yeah, used it to make money. And then she started like
Piece of
I
shit.
saw she was posing topless on Instagram. That was pretty cool.
What?
Got a
You didn't
Stella.
see that? She's like covered in her nips, but she's still got like a ridiculously nice rack.
That's
Ever
amazing.
the gentleman.
Always
You gotta
a
come,
gentleman.
dude. Listen, she's about our age, right?
Yeah.
Right? And she's not sagging. That's some good genet. You know what I mean? Like, good for her, man. I'm celebrating.
Oh my god.
Maybe the father just want her to get a little toiter.
Well, no, 'cause that's the whole thing. Everyone was saying she got a tit job, and she was like, "No, I didn't. I swear to fucking God, look, no scars. You know, none in the armpit or under the boob like they like to hide them."
Yeah, usually
She
you
was
can
like,
see.
"No, you know, it's all
Yeah.
I am genetically superior, just mentally inferior." You know what I mean? Like physically, she. You
You
know?
don't think the father fucking all the drugs she did with like Paris Hilton stuff and all that stuff she did back then just totally fucked her mind up?
Probably.
No, because if that's the case, I'd be like Britney Spears.
No,
Well-
your mind is a
well,
little.
well,
Your mind is a
well,
little. Yeah.
And she was doing different drugs.
Maybe. No, she was definitely in the like the designer
You,
drug.
you weren't an ecstasy boy. You weren't in those glow sticks being like,
It was way too emo to be ecstasy.
"Big
Oh my
ecstasy and
God.
Molly just fuck your brain up."
Yeah, that should
Cool.
fuck you up.
So, Chad, tell us about all the times you've done ecstasy. Give us dates and names.
Yes.
I've never done ecstasy.
Give us evidence, please. I'm building a court case against you.
Yeah, we're trying to build a case against you. We're not the mole, though. I just want to say that.
I don't do.
No, not us.
Yeah, it's not us. It's some guy we know. He was really
Some other
interested in
guy.
you guys. Yeah, but we thought we'd share that information with him because he seemed like a nice guy.
He had a really shiny
Say it on
badge.
her show.
Yeah.
He gets.
A really shiny badge.
I was as soon as he pulled it out, I was like, "Yeah, whatever you want, man."
I
That's
think
so
it said
cool.
like FIB on it or something like that. It's weird, you know?
IBF. I think.
IBF. IBS?
Yeah.
And it was IBS. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was. He wants to know about your bowels, Chad. How you pooping?
Yeah, you
Chris
pooping,
Penn
you pooping well these
like-
days?
Owls.
Ah.
What?
Uh,
Speak into the microphone. It works better.
Keith heard me. He laughed. He chuckled.
I heard like part of
Yeah,
it, not the whole thing though.
I said that was the moment when Chris bent over and said, "Check my bowels."
Oh boy, Chad,
Listen,
you're a father.
I'm a good friend. I do what I do. All right, don't judge me for it. All right. So Chad, you wanted to talk about that game, Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, I actually have some pictures. I have no video.
I showed you
Oh,
gameplay
sure.
of this like a year ago.
I
Huh?
do remember seeing this. Yeah.
I showed you and Chris. They do. There's like an 11-minute video where they fight the first boss,
And this one,
and like
yeah, the video that Chad shared with me is from yesterday actually on IGN.
they really released a new
I
one.
sent it to you, Chris. I sent it to you, and you didn't watch it, you piece of
I
shit.
don't watch anything you send me.
Yeah, it's
You're
like
bad.
it's almost like 13 minutes long, and it says official Unreal Engine 5 gameplay. And when I say it is Unreal Engine 5, like this shit looks awesome. Like the snow and shit looks fucking.
The scene, you're fighting a dragon, which was pretty sick.
I didn't get
The
that
one
far
I
into
saw-
it. I got like 5 minutes into it, and then we had to start the podcast. But
Skip to the middle and give us 30 seconds.
Of the video?
yeah,
Or no, what is it? What is it? 10 seconds is not.
Look at that shit, though.
I don't know.
I can't-
AJ
oh, I gotta-
was saying that I'm not affiliate, so I don't think it really matters yet. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, wow, sick animation. Chopper Boy? You were watching Chopper Boy?
We searched it that day.
I know. It's just funny.
oh my god.
Everyone should look up sick animation. It's probably the most funny thing you'll ever see in your life. Skip to the middle. Skip to the middle.
Oh my god.
I want to get to the snow effects Keith was talking
No,
about.
this is pre-rendered. Skip to the middle. Here we go. This is what you want to see.
Like, every footprint, every attack affects the environment.
It's got a shitty frame rate. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty.
The combat looks decent.
Yeah, but I played that game before.
We
Well,
can't
of course.
we can't see it, Chad.
No, you gotta click watch stream.
I do.
That's what I had to do.
Oh, okay. What
Well, I
the
turned it off.
stream it?
Well,
Oh,
Chad closed the stream. I think instead of opening, so what he tried to do with Zoom was share screen, but instead he opened his own fucking stream. So
oh,
you would have had to click on his stream to see it.
oh, weird.
I think that's what happened.
I
Because
don't.
I saw a little square, right? It says watch stream,
I'm trying
and then
to.
you click watch stream,
Yep.
and I don't know. Did that work?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Monkey King fighting a dragon.
Yeah,
That's
just
not a
little-
dragon. Where are the wings?
It's an ice
That's-
dragon. It's first of all,
That's a
fuck
worm.
you. It's a Japanese dragon, you piece of shit.
These are just worms.
No, this game looks sick though. It's set. You're the Monkey King. It's like you're playing Journey to the
Playing
West.
through Wukong's story, the ancient myth.
Yeah.
Basically, for us Westerners, the Dragon Ball series. Because
This game made me
Don't-
want a regular Dragon Ball
Wukong.
video game so bad.
What do you want to do?
Like a real Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball video game.
It does remind
Are
me
you-
of that a little bit. Yeah.
Are you telling me Dragon Ball, whatever the new game, sucked?
I want-
didn't play it, but I want.
Anyway, fighting.
I don't think
I
anyone
want
did.
like God of War type combat, or even that game combat system.
Yeah.
For like a
The
Dragon
combat looks awesome in this game. It really does.
It seems like I'm going to be hitting the square button a lot. That, you know? I
It's
don't
about
know.
the story. All right, piece of shit.
Yeah.
This is why you're the
But it's like,
Get
it's
outta here.
current year. It's current year. Why don't, like,
2023 is the release.
it's,
Oh, really?
what's that game? God Hand. God Hand had an amazing combo system where you would build your own fucking combos. And you would buy moves, and it was super awesome. And it was a really, really, really good beat 'em up. And, like, game companies forgot that that's what was awesome and just do, like, the square, square, square. Square, square, triangle. Triangle, square, triangle. Dodge. Triangle, square, triangle. You know what I mean? Like, it's boring. I don't know. The God of War game was really pretty and the story was fun, but the gameplay was the worst part about God of War for me.
Real? You didn't like the gameplay?
It was too simple.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was challenging as fuck at times, especially
Like-
when
like
you fight.
doing the Valkyries, yes.
The Valkyries were really hard,
difficulty- When the difficulty was artificially increased to the point of where it's like you have to stand there and parry perfectly 5 times in a row just to do that one mega square triangle combo, and then
Oh,
you go
yeah.
back. You know what I mean? Like that's when the game got hard because it was all like it was timing.
There was other,
Time.
and there was other, like when you go to that lava level,
and
you have to climb.
Muspelheim.
Yes, Muspelheim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you have
get
to climb all those
Muspelheim under-
areas, and you fight
Yeah.
that one boss. He's like one of the, what are those? Like the guys with the wings.
Not a Valkyrie.
No, they weren't
but
the
yeah, I know.
Valkyries, but they were
Dark
like the
Elves.
bug-looking guys.
Dark Elves.
Yeah, there were the Dark Elves, and there was like the one you have to. There was like the one boss, and then he would bring in some of his like lieutenants or whatever to fight you, and that shit. Like he would turn the room into darkness and then come out of nowhere and try to fucking
Yeah,
hit you.
well, when he hit you, you would go blind, so you needed to like parry at the right time. Yeah, I
That's
remember. I played.
yeah,
It's just, I don't know, man. I play fighting games, so like when I see like a combo system that's like 3-button combos or like 4-button combos, I'm like, come on, give me the fucking 15 with directionals. I want to play fucking Tekken combos,
see,
man.
I
Like,
can't. See, I
make me
can't.
work for it.
I can't do that
I
though.
play
Like
fighting games bad, so I like the button mash.
I'm
God of
the
War.
same way too. I would say that, and also like going to even the effect of like the Arkham games, like the Batman Arkham games.
Yeah,
Like some of those, like it was cool that they had all these variations, but like most of them I wouldn't use because I never remembered them. And I was like,
and
I was like,
it
oh,
was
that's
just-
right. If I hold L and hit X, I could do this. But if you hold L and hit triangle, you could do this. Like it's like fuck, man.
Yeah, which was
Really
fun.
good with the combos in that game.
Yeah,
But
that
the
was
problem
ridiculous combos.
The problem with the Arkham games is the easiest way to win a fight was wait for him to throw a punch, parry, hit him twice. Wait for him to throw a punch, parry, hit him twice. And then you would just combo it, and you would just keep the combo in a circle,
yeah.
just keeping them all off balance, and then you get the kill move. And it was just like, cool, I hit 2 buttons, and I killed 15 people. Like, it
Yeah.
was, I don't know, man. If it was like, I'm trying to think of games that had like, I guess God Hand. Like, if you watch gameplay with God Hand, it's
Mhm.
fucking insane.
Okay.
It's
Devil May Cry is-
Devil May Cry. Yeah, Devil May Cry is still good. Devil May Cry combo system and parry system, and like
Which one? Which one?
all of them except for two.
Okay.
Every Devil May and DMC, the shitty one, the
He
American one.
wasn't
that one
bad.
sucked.
They had a cool combat system with that game.
Right,
Oh,
but
that was the one where they kind of rebooted it, sort of.
yeah,
I mean,
but it
evil
boiled
little
down
bitch.
to yeah, but the problem is it boiled down to, oh shit, it's an orange enemy, pull out my orange weapon. Oh shit, it's a blue enemy, pull out my blue weapon. Oh no, it's an orange enemy and a blue enemy at the same time. What'll I do? Oh, I can just hit L1 to switch. Like it was too easy.
Oh,
It was
okay.
dumb. You know? Like whereas like the
Chris
first
just
Devil May
likes
Cry.
challenging games.
Yeah, Dark Souls is my favorite game. Devil May Cry is like getting raped. Like you're just getting beaten over and over. Like you
Yeah.
fucking like, you just need to get that combo and you're fucking and then the boss shows up and you're just dead and there's nothing you can do and it's fucking
Yeah, but even
brutal.
Ninja Gaiden's like that. You need to get like
Ninja
certain
Gaiden is
moves
another
mixed
one
up.
of my favorites. Again, I like games that punish you. I don't want to feel like I'm doing good. I want to feel like it's a fight for survival the whole time.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, for sure.
Which is why I love first-person shooters and survival games. Because like the whole time I'm just stressed out. I like feeling stressed, I think is what it comes down to.
I can see that. Yeah.
I was stressed during The Last of Us 1.
Last of Us 1 stressed me out at parts because I was playing on the ultra survival mode where ammo was like
really
non-existent.
scarce. Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was fun. That part where you're playing Ellie after Joel gets captured or whatever,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, no, you're playing Ellie after you escape, and all you have is your fucking knife, and you gotta sneak through the town at
Oh,
winter.
that's when you get captured by the cannibals.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yep. Yep. So I wanted to talk about this game that got announced today. I found this article on Kotaku, and it's called ExeKiller, but it's spelled like EXE killer. And it's like a cyberpunk western, and the writing and like the voice acting is like very absurd at times because they use a lot of like tropes and shit from movies like Blade Runner and like all of those like 80s movies that came out around that time. Even like Clint Eastwood, like one of the guys says "make my day." And like the main character sometimes like the main character said something. He says, "Sometimes I kill for money, sometimes I kill for justice."
What's the game called again?
It's called
ExeKiller, EXE killer, one word.
Yep, ExeKiller. Dude, it looks fucking awesome. Like it's still early in development. It's an indie developer, and this is apparently their first game that they're working on. And like the world looks very like Blade Runner, like 2049 with like the dust storms and shit. The car looks a lot like the Blade Runner like spinner and everything.
Yeah. So I googled EXE space killer and went to image. So if you guys want to do that, it's really funny.
What is it?
Just go to Google Images EXE space killer.
Oh my god.
It's not what I was.
I
thought I was gonna get. I thought I was gonna get the game, and instead I got this.
Let me see here.
Do you see all the Sonic shit?
Oh my
it's
god.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
not expecting this.
what the
It's
fuck?
like DeviantArt Sonic something.
That's right. Yeah, it's like an evil killer Sonic. My brother was like telling me about this a long time ago.
This is a thing?
It is an actual thing. Yeah, like somebody created
Oh
this.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, Roblox. I'm seeing Roblox. That makes sense, right?
yeah,
I get it now.
Probably.
I get it now.
For the hardcore Sonic fan that really wants a dark, gritty version.
yeah.
No, it's a kid who's being raised by like parents who are Christian musicians that take him on tour in a bus every day. And he was given a
Yeah.
Sega Genesis, and all he had was Sonic. And because he hates his parents, he thinks all these negative things, and he created evil Sonic because Sonic's evil, like easy to draw. So there, that's how it happened. I just explained 90% of Sonic fan art.
Perfect. Yeah, so this game looks really cool. So I think you're essentially like a Blade Runner. You hunt down bounties, and then you collect their, like, they call them souls on like a chip or whatever. And it looks like there's like pretty cool like first person combat. There's also, you can drive like the spinner sort of car, and there's even parts where it shows you actually like the doors open and you're shooting out the side of the car at like enemies or other cars. It looks fucking sweet, man.
Is it? Did you say it was top? Is it like
It's first
top
person.
down? First person.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be cool.
Yeah, it looks like you can tell that they're banking a lot on a lot of like these like tropes and things like that, and they make it like some of the voice acting bad, but you can tell they're doing it on purpose. So it makes it, I think, more enjoyable. You know, like I saw this comment like in down below. What does it say? Oh shit, let me find it. Where's the comments? Oh, yeah, it says, truly some of the worst voice acting writing I've heard in a while. I hope they don't change it a bit.
All right.
But I don't know. It looks really promising, honestly.
I like what's shit. I was just about to say a sentence that would make me sound like a douchebag. But no, like if the writing's good and it's like bad good, but it's not like bad good like trying to be bad,
Like
it's just like
B
bad
movie
good.
kind of bad.
Yeah,
good.
then it's fucking yes, I support it 100%.
Yeah, B movie, bad good, great good, you know.
Yeah.
But there's like some cool shit. Like one of the guys, you're like chasing this dude down like this like in this town, and he runs past like this electrical box and he shoots it, and the guy gets like electrocuted and like falls to the floor, and he's like, oh no, don't fucking shoot me, and then you take him in, and he's like handcuffed or whatever. Like some of it reminds me. Do you remember when they had the announcement trailer for Prey 2 before the actual Prey 2 came out?
Yeah.
And it looked like sort of like a Blade Runner sort of bounty hunter game.
Yeah.
Like
It looked cool as shit.
it looks super cool. Like this sort of reminds me of that a little bit. There's like another scene where you're on top of a train and you're hunting down bounties, like, and it's going through these like around these mountains and shit, and you're running across like on top of the train fucking shooting guys. Like that looks fucking badass, man. Like that looks really fucking cool.
Prey was the first video game I've ever played that made me motion sick.
What game?
Prey.
Oh,
The original?
the first one. Yes.
When you could
Yeah, because
I was
you would flip upside down and you'd be walking upside down on the ceiling and shit.
and like I play video games and this was the first one where I was like, oh shit, like I can't watch that. I can't watch the transition. It makes me sick.
It was yeah, that was definitely weird. Yeah, for sure.
Which is why
For
I'm
me,
scared for VR.
64.
What's that, Chad?
Duke Nukem 64. That made me a little motion sick with the
Oh yeah.
Really?
shooter for the first time.
Then
I
again,
remember
watching you play Doom was real funny. You suck at Doom. He is a move, aim, shoot. Move, aim, shoot.
I coordinated with my thumbs.
that. That
And
was
then
on
you
the
watch-
64 though. Like that was weird to move, aim, and shoot at the same time.
No, we played Doom like a month ago, the new one, and he was
Oh, the
just
new
playing...
one. Okay.
Yeah,
Chad,
he
there's
was
no
playing
excuse
like
for
that.
that. I'm sorry. I tried to cover
No, the
you.
old one. The old
Well,
one.
I
you don't
gotta
even-
concentrate. I gotta move it. Look where my thumbs are. Shoot. Look at the buttons.
Why do you
Figure out what
have
I'm
to why do you have to look at your thumbs when you're aiming? You're
I don't
looking
know.
at the screen where you're aiming.
Because it's
No, it's my
chat.
brain being like, you can move this thumb. Wait. All right, move this thumb. Now move the other thumb.
But keep in mind, this man is responsible for 2 human lives.
I'm sorry,
Man,
Chad.
maybe after my carpal tunnel, I'll be better.
Maybe.
No,
we'll say
dude.
that's what it is for now, but
Yeah, we'll say it's your thumbs, not your brain. We promise.
I'm sorry, Chad. So I
Well,
think
can you imagine if I was responsible for 2 human lives? It'd be way worse.
Oh my god.
Not even
least-
bad.
At least you're a good person, you know?
Oh my god, dude. Let me see here. Oh, so this was announced, or not announced officially, but this leak was confirmed. Like this leak was kind of going around quite a bit and like on a bunch of different websites, but finally it hit like a major company. So Kotaku picked this up. There's supposedly a GTA Remastered Trilogy coming to all consoles, PC, and Switch. And apparently they're supposedly remastering it in the Unreal Engine.
Okay, which GTAs though?
So it's going to be GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Man, where's my
Make new
GTA 1
game.
and 2 remaster?
1 and 2.
No, I love those games.
No, they
man.
were good. I think that would be really cool.
Psycho Clowns for life, motherfucker. Psycho Clowns for life.
Fuck yeah, man. Uh, I don't know. I think this is cool. Like, I want to see what this looks like. So Rockstar hasn't confirmed or announced this yet. But being that, like, they confirmed it, like, Kotaku confirmed that this leak is real, I think it's pretty possible. I think they're saying it's either going to come in the fall of this year or, like, early, like, Q1 or Q2 of next year.
So is Rockstar like set in the path where they're like, let's just make money off every property we have now?
Well, yeah,
and not...
because I know they're coming out with GTA 5 on the next gen consoles, which is going to take advantage of making it look better, like more like a PC version.
Yes. Let's
3 consoles now.
Hold on. Let's use last year's software to remaster everything to get people hyped for when we make the new game
GTA 6.
on the new software.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what they're doing.
Well, I wonder. So I think
PS3 first.
So I think the team that's actually working on this is under 2K, and I think it's the same team
really?
that worked on the Mafia Definitive Edition, because they did the remake of Mafia 1, which that game was excellent. Like they built that.
I liked Mafia 1. I didn't play 2 or 3.
Did you play the remake of it?
Yes, that's what I played, the remake.
Yeah, and I like that was gorgeous, man. Like they
Yeah,
rebuilt
it was
that
a fun
game from
game.
the ground up, and it looked. I hope that this is what they're doing with these games. They say it's supposedly like a mix of old and new graphics. Like the UI is still gonna look classic. They haven't said anything about what the combat's going to be. I hope that the combat is not the same as what it was when they first came out.
No, yes, keep the combat weird. It was fun.
I hated the combat in those games.
The
It was
auto
always...
lock, and then and you're shooting over your shoulder and shit. It was awesome, man.
Oh, I mean at the time, like, it worked because there wasn't. I don't know. I kind of hope that they do some sort of like third person over the shoulder shooting though.
I'm worried about the character models.
Yeah, the character models. I'm wondering what it's gonna look like. I mean, the Unreal Engine is a really good engine. Like it's one of the best, honestly. So I hope that like it looks like they make the character models look really good.
Oh no, see, I want the opposite. I want the game to look exactly the same, but just play amazing. Like just perfect. Like fix all the bugs, because by now you know all the bugs.
That's true.
So just
yeah.
fix all the bugs. Maybe make the game look a little cleaner, but I want the weird blocky models. I like the weird run cycle they had, I want to see a body like, ooh, and then fall over. I don't want like a realistic death, That's what I want.
We're the only one.
What do you want from this, Chad? Did you say he's the only one?
I only played Vice City and 5.
You're such a
You
loser.
never played
And I never beat
San
either one of
Andreas
them.
or 3?
He didn't play the best ones, San Andreas and 3. He played Vice and 5.
I mean, I liked Vice City. I wasn't crazy about the setting and stuff. I did definitely prefer Liberty City in 3.
Favorite one.
And San Andreas, I think, was really good too. I really liked
San
it.
Andreas was perfect. San
Yeah.
Andreas was Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm on the opposite end of, like, I respect that. Like, you want them to kind of be the original, like, creation, but run smoother and all that kind of stuff. I'm
Why
like,
not?
no, I totally get that. I'm on the end of it. Like, I would like to see these sort of like breathe new life into it, and have them look more updated. Because I would love to play in those worlds. Like, imagine if they made these like to look almost as good as like GTA 5. Like
Right.
that would be fucking cool.
And that would be fucking awesome. The problem is, and I don't want to play a remastered Vice, and I don't really care about a remastered San Andreas. It's Grand Theft Auto 3 that I'm like.
Yeah, that's
excited.
the one I'm really excited about.
The problem with GTA 3 is the protagonist is silent.
Hmm.
He doesn't say a goddamn thing the entire game.
But also, I mean, in GTA Online, your character doesn't say anything either.
Right.
Like, they play the siren
so-
protagonist, so.
But like part of the story of GTA now is having your character be this personality,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
Like Trevor is everyone's. Is that his name? Trevor, the meth head.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody fucking loves him. Nico Bellic is one of my favorite video game characters
He was
of all
awesome
time.
too. I did like Nico in 4, and I was wondering why they're not doing a remastered version of 4 either.
4 is perfect. Leave it alone, please. It's
That's
like
true.
the best.
And I mean,
just
at
leave
least
it alone.
on PC, you can mod the fuck out of that game and make it look really nice too.
Like GTA 4 was my like. I forget what year of middle school it came out, but it was like I was like, I don't need friends. I got GTA 4. I'm gonna go hang out and play darts with Roman. Like that's what I started doing. Um,
That
but
shit was fun. Yeah.
yeah, with GTA 3, your character's silent, and the way GTA's work now is it's really heavily dependent on the player character affecting the environment. Whereas in GTA 3, you were just walking into situations per se and being the solution to them.
Yeah.
Where like with the whole Michael, Trevor, and fuck, it's not CJ because CJ, what was the black guy?
Franklin.
Franklin. So like the GTA 5 was all about their interpersonal relationship
That's true.
and the world,
Yeah.
whereas GTA 3 is about you walking into situation after situation.
Yeah, and getting caught into this shit, and you're just like trying to get yourself out of the mess.
Yeah. And I'm worried that GTA 3 they're going to try and give, I think the guy's name is Frank. They're going to try and give him
Claude.
like a personality.
Claude is the main character from 3.
Plot. Yeah, they're going to
Yeah.
try and do something with him other than him just be because like what is it? They call it self-inserting. When I played GTA 3, that was me. I was doing this. I was making these decisions. But when I played GTA 5, I was playing Trevor. That's not me. Trevor's making these decisions. That's my worry about whenever they like remaster an old game like that, I get worried.
So
The worst thing you can do is make a silent protagonist talk.
So I don't think they're not gonna change any of like the major. They're not gonna change like the game itself. So I'll read you this description. It says, according to these sources, Rockstar is actively developing remastered versions of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. All 3 of these games are being remastered using Unreal Engine and will be a mix of new and old graphics. One source who claims to have seen a snippet of games in action said that the visuals reminded them of a heavily modded version of a classic GTA title. The UI for the games are being updated too, but will retain the same classic style. No details were shared about gameplay, but Kotaku has been told these remastered titles are to stay true to the PS2 era GTA games as much as possible.
All right.
So I think essentially like the story and the missions will probably be the same. They'll probably add some new missions to it maybe. But I think like the characters and everything, they might like remaster the voice acting in terms of like the quality of the audio, but I don't think they're actually going to like bring everybody back and be like, "Hey, we need to record your lines again." Like I think
come on, bring back 8-Ball.
Bring
him back.
I mean, it'd be cool, but I don't know. The voice acting wasn't bad in those games.
No, they have to re-record the voice acting to work with the new graphics of the mouths and all that stuff.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They might be able to lip sync it with the animations and stuff. And if they're keeping it as close to the original game itself, I doubt that they're gonna have like the sort of lip syncing that they have now in like GTA 5. I don't think it's gonna be up to that quality.
From the ground up.
I want to address your statement, Chad. I want to address your statement. You said, and I find this funny. You said, well, they would have to re-record it because they have to match the voices to the way the mouth moves. Why wouldn't the animator just change the way the mouth moves and save a bunch of fucking money?
Let me finish.
Right.
I'm saying, are they gonna? If it's gonna be a ground up, they're obviously going to redo the voice acting and everything. If it's just going to be them going over the old game, polishing it up and stuff.
Well, if they're going to redo the voice acting, bring in all the old voice actors.
No, it's going to be new Hollywood stars.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't think that they will. I mean, just as like an example, like games that have been remastered in the past, like Grim Fandango, we've talked about this. Like the LucasArts version, when Double Fine remastered that game, they didn't re-record all of the audio. They just remastered the audio to make it sound crisper, cleaner, like even like the music, the voice acting, all that stuff. Like they have technology to make it sound clearer and not have to re-record everything.
didn't they do the same thing with Destroy All Humans
Yeah.
recently?
Yeah. Yep.
Like they didn't they remastered the audio, but it was still all the same dialogue spoken by the original voice actors,
Yep.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So like just do that with GTA. Give me that line when 8 Ball, he's like, "Shit, get in the car," and then you gotta fucking get away after they do the thing, and you take him to his
Oh, after
shop, and
the
he's like,
after
"Yo."
the prison transport like flips
Yeah, and he's
over.
like, "Yo, if you ever need anything, man, just come back here." And I was like, 8 Ball, you're my friend for life. You helped me escape jail.
Hell yeah.
And I love putting bombs in cars at 8 Ball's shop and
That
parking
shit
them in
was
the
cool
middle
as
of
fuck.
streets and blowing them up.
Yeah.
I had GTA 3 on the PSP, and I played that shit all the fucking
I
time.
remember that, man. That shit was
It was
awesome.
so good.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think it's again, it's not announced officially by Rockstar, but speculation is saying it's possibly going to come out in the fall or first of next year. And I think, again, I think this is to tide people over because everybody knows like GTA 6 is probably not going to come out
It's
for at
coming.
least another
Yeah.
3 or 4 years.
But it's the next one.
It is definitely the next one.
They're doing what fucking Ed Boon does, where it's like an Injustice this year, then a Mortal Kombat that year.
Yep.
Where they're doing Red Dead this year, couple years you'll get a GTA.
Yeah. And I think
My
there's also rumors saying that they're also working on a Red Dead 1 remaster as well. Which would be awesome. I would
With
the
John
original.
Marston though,
Yeah. Yep.
I continue the story. I want to see where this plays.
Well, I don't
I-
know. I think because that like Red Dead 2 came out, I think people want like a remastered version cuz I mean it still plays really well, but I think
Yeah.
it would be cool to see that game running in like at close to if not the same caliber as like Red Dead 2.
And I agree, but I just recently replayed Red Dead 2, and it's like, yo, just give me more story. I don't, give me a new story. Just give me a new story. I love this universe. Please give me a new story. I love the gameplay. Just give me it. Hey, how about we watch a story about how Dutch and Colm Driscoll fell apart? We see what
Oh,
that murder
yeah.
was that drove them apart, you know? Or how
Yeah.
about we go into when John Marston's kid is technically the last cowboy because the
Yep.
world is modernizing around him, and he
Mhm.
has to like, with his cowboy mentality, like navigate New York City in 1918 or something
That
like
would be
that.
cool to see,
You
yeah,
know, like
continued from Red Dead 2.
where he's
Yeah.
still a cowboy, but he has to like function in society. Like,
That would be interesting. I would totally
you
play that
know,
too. Yeah.
I would play that too.
Yeah. Um
It's such a good universe.
yeah, it really is. I think Chad's got to go very how long do you have?
Like probably like 5 more minutes.
Okay. I got like 2 more things to talk about. I think this will be pretty quick and then we can wrap it up. So I wanted to try this before the podcast, but I didn't get a chance to. So like for the PlayStation 5, like the DualSense controllers, there is native support through like Steam on PC where you can play games with the DualSense Bluetooth or wired in. And there's this software that you can actually download because you can get the haptics to work and everything, but the adaptive triggers where it has like the force feedback on it doesn't work natively. And there's a software called what is it called? DualSenseX. So you download this software and you can customize how you want the adaptive triggers to feel when you pull them, like how light or strong you want it to feel. And then it'll just work and you can test it live with like this demo in the app that opens up and it's just like a shooter and you can stand in front of this like test thing with the gun and be like, I want to see how it feels with the lightest or the strongest force feedback on it. You can also customize the LEDs to be like a certain color or like strobing or different patterns and shit to use on your PC. So I'm like, that's really cool that there's actually support now for the DualSense controller to be able to use on a PC. So if you don't want to buy a PS5, but you want to buy a DualSense controller and use it for PC games and have that same effect.
Isn't it wasn't it the DualShock 3 was not PC compatible at all?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, none of them were until the DualShock 4, actually.
Until recently, yeah, because I would play emulators and shit, and I got sick of buying like those Mad Catz controllers with USB cable.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna fucking plug in my DualShock, figure this out, and then I was like, wait, I got to download a third-party program, and then
Yep.
you know, you got to set it, and like it's cool that they're still
Or
doing
one
that.
you can use whenever on things. I use my PS4 controller all the time when I'm playing games on my phone.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
PS4, but you had to wire it in, didn't you?
No,
Yeah,
You can do it wirelessly?
all by Bluetooth.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. It had sort of Bluetooth that would work with like phones and shit, but it didn't want to work with, you can't use Bluetooth with it on a PC. It has to be wired in.
yeah.
It was
'Cause I
weird
was
like
trying to-
that. I think it was because of the receiver that they had in the DualShock 4 controllers that was strange. But I think that's what's cool about the DualSense controllers is it's just normal Bluetooth. You can Bluetooth it to your phone, tablet, PC, whatever. And then you could still use this like third-party app and set it so that way you can use this controller for any fucking game on your PC. Like that's fucking awesome.
Do you remember when PlayStation 3 was like, we're not going to release a headset, just buy a Bluetooth device?
Oh
And they
yeah.
were all about, and nobody used headsets. And if you used a headset, you would get messages of people telling you to shut up and shit like that.
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 Online was mad weird.
It
was
was
like the
weird,
entrance
man.
of-
Oh, I know. I
It was
had one of those Bluetooth headsets.
I
Like the
had
ones.
one too, right?
Yeah, I bought the
And I-
actual PlayStation one.
I had a Motorola one, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
the earpiece broke off. So if I
Oh
wanted
my
to
God.
use it, I'd have to hold it up to my ear like a fucking comm system.
Red
I had a
Leader
Turtle
standing
Beach
by.
one.
You had a Turtle Beach one?
I bought. My friend actually bought me the Turtle Beach one because he wanted to play DC Universe Online.
I think I had
Then, like a
the
month
Turtle
later,
Beach
we
one
just
at that
stopped
time
playing
too.
it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That game
Oh,
was
man.
fun, though.
It was cool.
It was-
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but it wasn't good. It was fun, but it was like it was bare bones. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Once you get deep into DCU, you were like, all right, everything, you know,
Yep.
it's over. Yeah, I learned everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you guys want to check out like using your DualSense on your PC and you don't want to buy a PS5, like this is a cool route to do, and knowing that you can use the actual adaptive triggers to their full extent, you know. So this is awesome. And the last bit here, apparently Bethesda has announced yet another Skyrim port.
For Ouya or whatever.
No, it's called the Skyrim Anniversary Edition. It includes over
cares?
500 Creation Club mods, fishing, and support for next-gen consoles. Like,
But it's like,
all right, enough is enough already.
just play it on PC, go to the Nexus mod hub, and
Yeah.
boom, there you go. You know,
Exactly.
like why fucking?
This
Oh,
just
we added 50 mods. It's like, bro, you can get 50 mods for free on the fucking internet. Like, I
right,
don't give a shit.
Well, this just reminded me, like, I think it was like 3 years ago, they had that commercial for the Alexa version of Skyrim. It was like the audio
Oh my
version.
God, I forgot about that.
Remember? And they had Keegan Michael Key on the commercial, and he's like looking at the Switch on his on his coffee table, and then the Xbox controller, and he's like, Alexa, play Skyrim. And so
Yep.
it's like you're climbing up a mountain, you can go this way or this way, and he's like, okay, yeah, go this way, and he's like Fus Rodan, and it's like, I don't recognize that. Fus Rodan! He like swipes the shit off the fucking table. and his
Yeah,
wife's
that was
like,
there.
yeah, it was fucking hilarious. And his wife is like, she's like, can you clean that up? He's like, I haven't reached that level yet. I'm sorry. But
What
then
a
like,
fat joke.
it's like you have 10% health left. What do you do? And he's like, eat all of the wheels of cheese. Or he's like, how many wheels of cheese do I have? 491. Eat all of the wheels of cheese. And then it shows like coming to pagers and smart fridges, and then
Yeah.
it's like making fun of itself. It's just like, come on, man. Do we really need another fucking Skyrim port yet again?
See, well, no, because Bethesda isn't owned by ZeniMax anymore. It's owned by Microsoft, right?
Which is weird. Like, why? Why are they fucking pushing
Oh,
this shit
they
too?
got money.
They're trying to drum up cash to afford a new Elder
Although-
Scrolls engine.
I would say though, honestly, I wonder if they were working on this before the acquisition by Microsoft. And
Oh,
then
probably.
like they were probably working on this for a little bit, trying to get it ported over to the next gen consoles. And then we're like, Microsoft, we already have this in the works. Should we just do it? And they're just like,
Fuck it,
fuck,
we'll make it
man.
scatter.
Fine. All right already. Just fucking. This is the last time, though.
Did you ever read about like Zendy Max and Bethesda's relationship?
No.
So I think it was Zendy Max was the parent company, but once they made Oblivion, right? Because Oblivion, I think Morrowind and Oblivion run on different engines, right?
So yes, you're right. Yeah, because Oblivion started with the Gamebryo engine, and then the Gamebryo engine was turned into the Creation engine, which is now the Fallout 4 engine.
Which is the same engine that it was in Oblivion.
Exactly.
No improvement.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking engine that they've been
Shitty
using
structure
for
that
20...
it was built on, and they just built on top of the shitty ass engine, and
they just kept making the graphics look a little better, like they
Mm-hmm.
polished it, but it was still the same goddamn turd. So they stuck with that all the way up until Skyrim, and then Bethesda bought them and went, "You guys can make a new engine," and they were like, "Thank you, thank you. We can use a new engine. We can do something."
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's like I think the biggest thing that I'm happy about for Bethesda being owned by Microsoft is now they're like, you guys need a new engine. It needs overhauled. They've been using that engine for like 20 years. Like enough.
Yeah, since Oblivion. That was like 2001, I think.
Yeah. So I think exactly, and I think so going forward. I think with like what is it, Starfield? I think is going to have the new engine that they're building.
But
do you guys think you'll ever be able to use the PlayStation 5 controller on an Xbox?
No. What?
No,
you don't think Bluetooth could get it to work or anything like that?
No, there's probably a workaround, but if you're talking about in-party or in-house software, no, never. There's always workarounds.
Yeah.
I just hate the Xbox controller and I want to play Bethesda games.
Oh well.
Never gonna play Fallout again.
Sucks to suck, Chadley.
Do you really want to?
I don't know, maybe. I am like kind of happy Xbox bought it, so they like make your games not shit. Put time into it.
Yeah.
Did you play Fallout 4?
I did.
Huh?
Did you play Fallout 4?
I got up to Fenway and stopped playing it.
Yeah, right? Great game.
Yeah, I ended up when I ran it on PC, I had like probably 100 mods in that fucking game to make it run smoothly and add cool things that I wanted to it. But
like big tits and nude mod.
Oh yeah. No, actually, there was a lot of really cool mods. Like you can add like a dynamic weather system, so it had like actual radioactive rain. It made the world actually a lot harsher to live in. And so you had to be a lot more thoughtful on like where you were going to be and what time.
I always went for realistic grass, realistic water, realistic reflections. Yeah. And I was like, like those are the three basics. Yeah. I had this cool mod in Oblivion where every time you started a new character, it would randomly assign you a race, a level, skill point allotment, and like a story.
Yeah.
To like do things. So like one time I spawned in and I was like a level 1 vampire, like living in a cave with a dagger, and it was just like be a better vampire. So I would just go out and just like fucking kill people.
I think there is some really cool mods for Fallout 4 and other Bethesda games that create a different, unique story.
Because they do the open world really well. Like their open world, it feels empty at times, but but like. It's Fallout. Of course, there's not a lot of people. You know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and I think it's cool. When some of these modders do like really unique shit with it and kind of make it their own kind of story and everything.
I still like Fallout 3 the best.
1 and 2, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go New Vegas.
New Vegas. I like the writing in New Vegas. I didn't really care for the setting as much.
I loved New Vegas. The weird shit you could do in that game.
There was a lot of weird shit. Yeah. It was cool. No, I definitely loved the game. It's just like I think I liked like the Washington D.C. and 3 a little bit better. 4 had like a cool world.
3's map was like condensed, but I don't mean that negatively. Like you always felt like you were stumbling upon something new or unique.
Yeah.
Whereas like New Vegas, you'd be out in the desert by yourself, like what the fuck's happening, and then someone would attack you. That's what I liked about Vegas.
Yeah. But you can tell the writing was better in that game because it actually had some of the original writers from Fallout 1 and 2 that worked
from the
on
Obsidian.
Okay,
guys.
Obsidian and Black Isle Studios. Yep.
Yeah,
Which are a lot of them now are working on like the Wasteland games and stuff too.
they worked on
Outer Limits.
Outer Limits, yeah, which I played and I really enjoyed. But it gets
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds,
Outer
yeah.
Worlds,
Yeah,
thank you.
that was Oblivion. Or
That was a lot of fun, but it
Yeah.
got super repetitive towards the end.
yeah,
They're
working
it
on a
did,
new
it
one.
did a little bit. Yeah.
Really strong beginning.
I
like,
love. Yeah.
really,
From what
dude.
I still haven't finished it. I need to, but I loved the game. It was awesome.
Spacer's choice. You've tried the best, so try the rest.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I love they totally
Best
like
part.
it had the most ridiculous like advertisements and shit in that
I
game.
loved it.
And they knew
loved
that
it.
they were being ridiculous about it, and they were like, it sort of reminded me of like Borderlands, but done better.
Yeah.
Like
It just
I
shows
tried-
where Fallout got the humor, which writers left and which ones
Yeah,
stayed.
exactly.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
tried. My problem with that game though is I tried my goddamn hardest to work for the corporation. I was whenever I play a video game like that, my first run is always the bad ending
yeah,
because it's more fun to be evil. So like I was trying my best to just be like a loyal corporate slave, and they wouldn't let me. They kept like they refused to let me be a bad guy, and I was like, "Come on, man!"
yeah. Oh, I know. I feel you. I love
It's why I dropped.
Oh, no,
It's
go
why I
ahead.
dropped Disco Elysium, because like I was getting really into Disco Elysium, but then it came to like choices where like yes was like 50 points to communism, no 150 to fascism.
Yeah,
And like, but
it's
it's like-
hard to reach some of those things.
like I wanted to play me, and it's like me saying no in my mind isn't fascist. So why am I getting fucking fascism points? Give me a fourth option or a fifth option, you know? Don't give me
Yeah.
a 1 or a 2 that
Yeah.
fucking hardlines me.
You had to work really
Yeah.
hard to get some of those dialogue options to actually play in your favor.
Dialogue in that game
Yeah.
was beautiful. It was so good. When you talk to that druggie on the roof, you know, the chick in white, and she's talking about how like she's like, yeah, I'm pretty and I do drugs. That's how I live. You know, like you have that conversation with her,
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, dude, that was awesome.
there is some really cool shit in that game.
Yeah.
Chad, I love you. I don't know what song you're referring to.
No doubt. Don't speak. Don't speak. I know just what you're thinking.
Are you telling me not to speak? You fuck.
You speak when spoken.
You
sir.
fascist asshole, Chadley.
Oh,
What the heck?
hold on, Chad. I speak when spoken to,
You speak when spoken to.
and you just spoke when I spoke to you, so we know what's up.
Because I'm talking to you. You know what that's.
We're not having a
I was
conversation.
already having a conversation with you, so I let you
We're having a
speak.
conversation. This is me giving you orders. Shh.
Drink that beer.
Well, on that note, let's wrap this up. Real quick, retribution/corrections. If you guys have any, we're counting on you guys to help us build this podcast into something great and worth your listen. So if we happen to get anything wrong or mischaracterize things, from which we can do from time to time because we are fucking human. So this is your opportunity to help support us so we can set the record straight. And future episodes, just don't string us up because, you know, fuck you. That's why. If you're
But
watching the
I'm-
video version, what's that?
I'm always right, so don't correct me.
Right, exactly. We know what the fuck we're talking about.
But gee,
Yeah, exactly. So that's all the time we have for today's podcast. We hope that you guys enjoyed what you heard, and we truly appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Digital Denizens. You have no idea how much we appreciate you guys listening, that you guys write in, and as I always say, hit that like and subscribe button, and keep your ear to the ground for more to come very soon, guys. Thank you, Chris and
Fanboy
Chad.
The Snob.
all right,
Yes.
let's talk about Afghanistan.
No! Show some love to Fanboy and the Snob for Chris and Chad on their YouTube. They
Get the
also
like,
have...
subscribe, and smash that.
No, I fucking.
All right, guys. Stay
Chris
classy.
is triggered. We gotta end this.
Stay classy, San Diego. You know what that means.
We're on YouTube.
A whale's,
Anyway.
a whale's vagina. What?
So like the Taliban ain't so bad, right, guys?
All right, bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
are listening to Digital Denizens.